What's good, gang? Nate, wake up. You there, Nate? Hello? I think he's asleep, chat. Nate, come in. Over. I think he's frozen. Anyways, Afakasi Raider got down below, supposed to be Nutty Raider Nate, for our first episode of Wake Up Nation. Sorry, chat. I'm gonna have to give Nate a call, see what the hell's going on. Looks like he's frozen. One moment, chat. Oh, and he's gone. All right, well, here I am, just me, myself, and I. He might be having some technical issues, but good morning to the gang. Good, I see you in the building. Salute to you. Damn, I'm gonna have to go solo layout for now. Willie Wayne, good to see you, my brother. Salute. One moment, please. We're having some technical issues because Nate was supposed to be here, but then he poof disappeared. So I have to take that away, and it's just gonna be me, myself, and I just for the time being. I'm gonna take the music down just till Nate situates himself. All right, here we go. So let me light up the cigarette. God, salute to you. Good morning. So, supposed to be doing a Wake Up Nation, our first episode of Wake Up Nation with Nutty Nate. Like, this is our third season now. So, we started doing this collabing since what, 2023. Speak of the devil, Nate, come in. Over. Hello, Nate. You're not there. Why can't I not see you? Nate. Come in. Over. Cannot see you, brother. Damn, what's going on with him? Anywho, let me finish blazing up this cigarette. Yes, Willie Wayne, we were going to get into that. Nate, you good? Hello. You were good before, Nate. Whatever you were doing before was good. You're bugging out now. Wow, what a time to have technical difficulties right from the jump. But yes, Gino is officially a Raider. I touched up on it a few times when I joined a few lives. That just patience. We'll get the deal done. Nate still can't hear nothing. Nada. Nate, figure it out. Navy, salute to you. Good morning. What's going on, dog? We're just trying to wait for Nate to figure it all out. Now he's backed out again. Okay, so I'm going to have to take away the banner just while he situates himself. Hopefully he gets it sorted when he next joins. All right. Still can't see you, Nate. Please join. Please. He's loading. Nate. There he is. Nate, what the hell's going on, dog?
My bad. I don't know. My shit's bugging.
Bugging out for sure.
Yeah,
right from the jump.
It's been a minute, guys. Hey, good to see you, gang.
I'm going to have to play the song again since you were bugging out for a minute. Let's play the tune one more time. All right. So here we go. Afakasi Raider, got your boy, the nutty one. Nutty Raider Nate for our first edition of, what is it, Nate? What is it?
What?
Wake Up Nation.
Wake up.
Left me hanging.
Wake up, nation.
Wake up, Nate. Or at least you're into it, right?
I'm out of it. Yeah, I'm out. I got to warm up. I'm a little rusty.
Little rusty. Well, appreciate you, brother, and appreciate everyone who stopped by. We got Navy, Gord, Willie, and Creeper. Hail President Bone Spurs. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but salute to you. So, anyways, how do you feel about the recent state of affairs, being that I guess the only news of late is we got the deal done with Gino Smith? How you feeling about that one?
I like it. It was a good deal. Considering our options, I think under 40 million is pretty good per year for a mid quarterback. I mean, that's just the going rate right now. It's either that or run it back with Minshew in AOC, and I think Gino was the better option. I'm still out on him as far as he's got to show me something with the Raiders and the silver and black at least, because it's a different game when you put on these Raider colors. You got other elements you're playing against, such as the referees, such as nutty ass fans like me, and you got other shit that goes mind tricks and shit like that. So, I feel like Gino is a pretty strong minded dude as well. He never gave up. He was a backup for like 6+ years. Didn't really play a lot of snaps. He never gave up on himself. Always believed in himself and was just waiting for that opportunity. And Pete Carroll was nutty enough to give it to him. And he didn't win nothing, right? But he did save his career for the most part. Who knows? Let's see it though.
For sure. Creeper, we'll see with that comment there. I mean, your team is still in flux as well, so we'll see. I like that you highlighted the word mid. So that's your feelings on Gino, right?
And the jury's still out for me, bro. It's you got to show me. You got to show me something. If not, then it's just another off season for the Raiders, right? Where we overhyped the player that we got, and our expectations were too much for them, and they fall flat on their face as soon as the season starts, or they don't get it. They don't get it going until like their 9th year of their career, or something stupid like that. You know what I mean?
It's all good, Creeper. All good. Salute to Chris for Raiders. Good to see you in the feed, my friend. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, look, like it's a different story. Like, I mean, he had his chance. He did start with the Jets. He just wasn't able to fulfill that role and make it his own. And it didn't work out for him there. I mean, they invested a 2nd-round draft pick. Do you remember that draft that year? When was it? 2013 or 14? I think it was 13.
It was after Carr, I believe.
Right. No, I think it was before. I'm pretty sure it was before. Can somebody confirm that in the chat? Okay. I'm pretty sure it was 2013, but he was in the green room for a long time. He was waiting. And then finally he got selected in the 2nd round by the Jets. It didn't work out for him there. I remember we played him a few times. I wasn't impressed. But he did go and get a fresh start at Seattle. And from word through the grapevine is he did okay. But at the end of the day, like, I don't care what you did before. I only care what you do in Raider colors. I don't want it to be another case of like when these players play the Raiders, they're like friggin' the next coming of Joe Montana or all pros, and then they come over to us and they stink it up, right?
Yeah. Gardner
Minshew. Remember the other cat that we had, the guy from the Niners, and he didn't even make it past preseason? Millen?
Yeah.
Remember when he lit us up in, what was it, 2018?
We traded him actually to the Vikings for like a 5th or 6th or something.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. We got some compensation for him. Wow. It was like last minute. The Vikings
gave up draft capital for that guy. Okay,
swooped him up. Yeah, he ended up beating us too that year. They had Dobbs in, and we were beating Dobbs up, and like halfway through the end of the 2nd half or something, they put Miller in. What's his name? Miller? I don't know. Yeah, and he ended up beating us. He didn't do nothing spectacular, but he managed the game, and
yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
I said, another case of these guys who play us, and then all of a sudden they're the next coming of Joe Montana.
Every time.
And then when they come over to us, it's like they just stink it up. But hopefully I'm not going to speak that into existence. I mean, at the very least, I believe he can be solid. I mean, better than those other guys he brought in the door, right? Surely he can be better than the other guys who brought in the door. That's a very flaw what I expect from Gino Smith, but we're paying him a decent contract. I mean, what was the contract? Where was there it is from God. Salute to you. So 2 years, 85 mil. So we've got him for three years. So this year is the last of his current contract, and that's the extension to another 2 years. So I guess we're banking on him to be that solidified quarterback for the now and for at least the recent future. And Sangrain, salute to you. See you in the feed, my friend. But yeah, look, I hope he makes that position his own. I mean, we've been trying to go this route of these veteran quarterbacks since, outside of drafting Derek Carr, since Rich Gannon. Every single one of these veteran guys we bring in has been mid at best. and at worst, they've been well below that. And I'm getting goddamn sick of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. At the end of the line, you hope this isn't one of those situations where it's just the end of his career and he's banking out and he's checked out. He's got his what is it, 80 million guaranteed, something crazy. I'm probably over. It's something crazy where
it was just here we go. So there's the extension.
Yep.
So he's got this year and then another 2 years after that for 85.
I hope he doesn't check out. You know what I mean? It's not one of those situations. But I think he's a competitor, and I think Pete Carroll understands that, and he's gonna get the best out of all of our guys. So it's all on Pete Carroll, really. Like our faith is in Pete Carroll at this point, because I'm not too impressed with our offseason so far. I know a lot of people are like, oh, we upgraded some positions. Like, yeah, we didn't retain some of our guys, which tells me that some of those guys didn't really believe in Pete, and that's kind of that kind of makes me a little upset. But I'm glad we got guys who want to be here. So that's the overall thing. 60 or 65. Right. Yep, that's what I'm saying. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Do you check out, or do you keep on competing? And I hope Pete Carroll keeps him in line. So, yeah, we need everybody on board, because we got an uphill battle. Our division alone is top of the shits right now, and it feels like we sat on our hands all off season. As far as upgrading the O-line, that's what I'm really upset about. How you go and grab Kappa, and that's the gist of it, of trying to fix it. That's crazy to me. We let guys like what's his name, the guy from the Jets who went over to the Chargers. I forget his name right now.
Andre James? No, Andre James.
Andre James. I don't care about Andre James. I don't even think.
I was going to say, you're the biggest Andre James.
Mekhi Becton. He's a monster. He probably wouldn't have fit our system, because I know Chip Carroll wants to run that outside zone, so you got to be a little more agile, speedy, I guess, better footwork for sure. And I don't think Mekhi Becton got that. He's just a tush push kind of guy, just move the pile, which I love, but that's not where we're going. So, my dog.
Right. Well, I think like a lot of the players that we didn't retain, I think they just went chasing the bag, and I can't fault players for doing that. It seemed pretty evident that we weren't going to give them the money that they end up getting paid. Like, I'm looking at Trayvon Morig, I'm looking at Spillane, and all these other cats that got their money, and go get it. Like, I can't knock them for wanting to maximize what they feel their worth and their value is. But you look at who we brought in the door. Like, look, I like that it seemed like we went for value and that, but at the same time, did we really get substantially better? And I guess I'm with you. I don't feel like we have, as it stands. And Nate, you frozen again? Or are you there? He's frozen again. Yeah. Great. Fucking StreamYard's bugging out again. But what I was saying, yeah, look, I guess it's just a wait and see how it all shakes out. It seems like we're going to be trying to bank on this draft class to be the factor that, I don't know, like, takes us over the top, which to me, like, that's unfair expectation. Year one, it's going to take a little bit of time. And salute to you, Cheddar. Nice to see you in the feed, my friend. Nate, you still there, or are you bugged out again? I think he's frozen. Oh, God. Great. More technical issues. Sorry, chat. We're struggling this morning. But yeah, look, I guess we'll wait and see. I mean, it's 3 weeks now till the draft. I mean, look, and he's gone. All right, Nate, please come back and situate yourself. Just going to take the layout down. Give me a moment, just till he comes back. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm just going to read out this comment here by Raider Pete. We need 10 offensive line players on our active roster. Depth, rotational, and/or emergency value. Long season, the best combo can take less time with more beef up front. Right. Look, I at least like what we have on the outside. Here he is again. Hopefully, he situate himself. Are you good, Nate?
My VPN's acting up. That's what happened. It's
VPN. How come you're on a
tweaking out.
VPN? You good?
It usually just turns on by itself. Yeah, when I get online. But yeah.
All right, fair enough.
My bad.
This comment here. So we need 10 players on our active roster, depth, rotational, and/or emergency value. Long season, the best combo can take less time and more beef up front. Right. Well, Nate already shared his thoughts on the offensive line. I mean, I don't like what we have on the interior on either side of the center, but I like what we at least have on the outside with DJ Glaze. I'm very high on Glaze. And Colton Miller, look, I know he had a down year last season, and it could possibly only keep trending downwards being how long he's been in the league. But I felt like he was getting better, at least towards the end of the season. So what say about that, Nate?
I'm glad that James is gone. I think that they realize that Parham's not it, but they don't have a solution right now. Glaze is good. I think that he can improve. I think he has strong hands, and he's great footwork. He's not really effective in the run game, but I think that can improve with the chemistry from the O-line and a set O-line and a competent center to try to lead the way for the gang. So there's some stuff that they need to prove still. So Glaze is good, but I feel like if we can get better at that position, we continue to do that. And somebody's got to get bumped inside because we're missing inside depth. So
right, you're not sold on Dylan Parham at all. But what about JPJ? I mean, I'm pretty high on him.
Hey, that's the bright star of the O-line of our offense, really, other than Brock Bowers. That's the for sure. That's the only for sure as we got, and they're 2 second-year players. That's kind of scary. So I'm reserved as far as my expectations so far. Hoping Pete Carroll gets the guys going, and Chip Kelly can also improve and where he's lacked in the past as far as personnel and keeping a good relationship with his players, and hopefully everybody buys in because we need that.
This is comment here, like on the flip side, on the other side of the coin on the defense. So we have a good combo of DL and defensive coaches, but what is your thoughts on Pete's son and other offensive positional coaches? Hope they crack the code. I guess we'll go with the coaches first. Like, what do you think about that, Nate?
Yeah. You got to show me something. I'm not getting off that. I'm not praising none of these guys. We had a 4-win season last year, and I think that defensive coach was on the staff. So that defensive line coach, it's just shoulder shrugger. Show me something. We got a lot to prove. It's an uphill battle. I keep repeating myself, but it's where we're at, guys. I'm not. We won 4 games last year. I can't
right.
I can't be hyped about that shit. And
was it 4 or 5?
4. And considering our division, especially, it's
a tough division.
Yeah, we got some work. So hopefully these guys buy in. That's the main thing.
Gotcha. I mean, like, one of the disappointments for me was last season. Like, I felt like the defensive line was the strength of our strength, being the defense was supposed to be the strength of our team. And I guess to a point it was. But the defensive line, like, we were riddled with injuries. Crosby had a down year. We lost Christian Wilkins. We lost Kuntz. So once again, on paper, it seems like the defensive line is going to be the strength of this team. Well, it's the strongest positional group with Crosby, Kuntz coming back, Adam Butler getting a new contract. I know you were the only person, and I've highlighted this on a few lives, the only person who gave him any kind of hype before he even did anything as a Raider. You know what I'm saying? Your boy down here was speaking volumes about the signing of Adam Butler, and he's repaid his faith tenfold, in my opinion. And I've shared this hot take before that I believe he's been the most consistent and the best interior guy on the defensive side of the ball since Richard Seymour and Tommy Kelly in that 2-year stint that he's been with us. Like, name one defensive tackle, because it's been pretty woeful since those guys that has played better as a whole in that amount of time than your boy Adam Butler. So to see him coming back, very much deserved. And Christian Wilkins, like I like Christian Wilkins, and I like what I saw from at the start of last season, but you know, we're paying him a lot of money, so he's got to be cashing the checks we're paying him, right? And I want to see him play the season. I don't want to see him getting hurt again. He's missing substantial time. So what say you about that?
And the price we got Adam Butler back for too, fucking, I thought for sure we weren't going to be able to afford him, but he came back at such a cheap price. I was surprised that these other guys didn't do the same. So I love Adam Butler for that shit. He definitely bought into the Pete Carroll hype, and he believes in his teammates and his guys around him. And if everybody can stay healthy, he knows he can shine, because if he gets those one-on-ones, he's causing havoc regardless, with or without them in the games. He's Adam Butler is just out there causing havoc for sure. I love that shit. Yeah, Christian Wilkins, he's got, like, I wasn't hyped on the signing last year. It was like, okay, we got a more expensive Adam Butler. I you know what I mean, I called Adam Butler the cheap the poor man's Christian Wilkins. But he's got something to prove. He did have a couple good games starting off last year. I wasn't too impressed. He started blowing up in that Bronco game, and then that's when we lost him. So it's like, I need 17 games, pretty soon to be 18 games. So it's we need at least 3 of our starting 4 to maintain their health throughout the season and not lose 2 of those guys for a substantial amount of time the way we did last season. I'm hoping Christian Wilkins is one of them, and I'm hoping Malcolm Kuntz has a who's that? That's the old cornerback for the Patriots, right? With the pick in the Super Bowl. Interception,
Right. And Chris for Raiders, appreciate the subscription, my brother. Thank you for joining the membership program, my friend. Appreciate the support. But yeah, look, I do want Malcolm Kuntz. Like, he's a guy I gave high praise for last season before the season started, and I was hearing a lot of good things from camp, that he was showing leadership qualities and really stepping up to that role of being a guy that we can galvanize around. Outside of, look, you know, Max Crosby, but it can't all just be him. We got to get another guy, another dog on the line. And I'm glad to see that Malcolm Kuntz stayed with us, and it seems like he's hungry to repay the same faith that we showed in him last season, because everybody in the Red Nation, we know what he can do at his best, and we all believe in him, we're all behind him, but it's a matter of, like, coming back healthy and showing us that same form he showed us in the later half of 2023, right?
Yep. That's the thing too with Kuntz. I like him too. It's the potential is untapped pretty much, right? He only played 8 games.
Happy birthday, Raider Pete.
8 total games. Pete, my dog, happy birthday, bro.
Sorry, I just saw that comment. So happy birthday to you, my friend. Salute. Sorry, Nate, continue.
No, Kuntz, that the only game he did play last year, I must have watched like at least 4 or 5 times watching that defensive line. It was the preseason game against the Vikings where they made JJ McCarthy look like a Pro Bowler.
Like I keep saying, you're making these players all of a sudden look like the next coming of Joe Montana.
No. So that last game I saw Kuntz, and I wasn't too impressed, guys. He looked a little stiff. He looked like he lost some bend. I don't know if you guys know this. I found this out. My boy Hotspot told me about it, and I looked it up. And he grew 2 inches when he turned 24 or 25. He had like a growth spurt, and he grew 2 inches right before his big injury. So I wonder if that has something to do with it, where he got too top heavy and he put on some weight, and he was trying to bend like he used to, and it wasn't the same. So he's got to adjust to his new size as well. There's a
wait. Did you say he made JJ McCartney, or are you talking about Malcolm Kuntz?
Oh, the whole defensive line. They made
Oh, right. I
the
thought you were talking about Malcolm
Vikings.
Kuntz. I was going to say
No,
Malcolm Kuntz was injured outside all last season, so
no,
he
but
couldn't have been a part of that.
they played against each other in the preseason. The only game, and JJ McCarthy, we ended up actually hurting him that week. I guess he finished the game.
Sorry, wasn't Kuntz injured in not even
Nah,
in the
he played the first Vikings game, and then I think we
Sure.
sat him out, and then right before the season started, he tore.
I thought he was injured in camp.
I think it was the end of camp, where the season was about to start, and he was out.
Whatever, he was out for the season. So
yeah.
To the point.
But they did play JJ McCarthy, and JJ McCarthy had a bunch of numbers and a couple bombs, couple good plays, and
it wasn't a good preseason, and I guess it spelt, I guess, like how the season was going to pan out, a rough ride to say the least. But that's last season. We're going to look at the now. But what do you feel like with this season as of right now? And even if we do get it right with the draft, I guess, do you feel like this is a season where we can really make a push to be competitive and possibly make a playoff push? Or do you feel like the way I am, like you're going to sit back, stay in reserve mode and expect that this may be just a transitional year where we're looking to build for the next 2 seasons?
I expect it to be a rough year. I got hopes. I got hopes that Pete Carroll can unlock all the talent we have and the potential we got year after year. But until he does, I'm holding back up any reservations of a good season, just because it's the past few years since we're pretty much started this shit. It's so I started getting on camera and talking about the Raiders. It's been bad. It's been bad.
There's a good comment there. Me and Chris for Raiders, we had a debate about Amari Burney. And as Bernie, not Benet, I've been calling him Benet a lot of the time. I thought it was Benet for the longest time, but then I had to go and Captain Jack, salute to him. He told me it's Bernie because he watches a lot of Florida games. And when I watched the old Florida games, listening to the commentator, he pronounces it Bernie. So I'm going to go with that. But anyways, Amari Burney is going to thrive under these. Is he going to thrive under these coaches? He was given props in college as a covering linebacker. We shall see. What do you think, Nate? I felt pretty underwhelmed by him the last couple of seasons. I haven't seen enough of him. But Chris for Raiders and Jack, they argued that he's been playing a lot of good coverage when he has seen snaps. I mean, from the eye test, I didn't notice that in PFF. Like when I looked at that, I know PFF isn't the end all be all, but they didn't rate him too highly when it came to pass coverage. So, what say you about Bernie?
Yeah, no, it's the little bit I have seen him play in. I'm not impressed with preseason at all. He looks lost. It looks like the speed's too much for him, and you can see that sometimes with some of these players as they transition, especially because he played safety. He's playing a new position. He's trying to learn a totally new position. He wasn't a linebacker in college, I believe. He was a safety, and we drafted him and thought we could make him a cover linebacker, and it's just putting a square peg in a round hole. You know, it's just another one of those things.
Chris, if you want to pull up and give you your takes on Amari Burney, because I know you and Captain Jack were pretty high on him the other night or other day when I was debating him with you guys. Maybe you want to share your thoughts. But
he's got some pop-ums. He can hit. I've seen him make some good hits, but as far as coverage, like everyone's talking about, it looks like it moves too fast for him. I could go back and watch some more, but I wasn't impressed with what I've seen so far.
It seems evident to me the confidence that the coaching staff has in the linebacker core that we've got. When what's his name? 5 minutes. Okay, cool, Chris. When we didn't re-sign Robert Spillane. I mean, he went to the Chargers. He went to the Patriots. Once a Raider, always a Raider. We replaced him with Landon Roberts, a seasoned veteran, as well as we tried to bring in the other guy from the Patriots. We didn't end up signing him like this. The Patriots matched our offer, so they retained him. What was the name of that guy?
Elias, something. Elias.
Well, whatever his name. He's not a Raider, so whatever. But we did sign Devin White to a very, very cheap deal. The guy we should have drafted instead of Cleve Farrell, right? But I guess it's a matter of like I like what he did at his best, but his best has been 2-3 seasons ago, and the last couple of seasons, whatever way you want to cook it or cut it for, or whatever reason, he hasn't really done much of anything. So, but I guess it's to my point. We've been looking to bring in new bodies because I guess the coaching staff, they're just not sold on guys like Bernie, Masterson, who's still here, I believe. Amari Gaynor, I do want to see more from him. I liked, at least in preseason last year, he showed a lot and ended up playing himself to the roster. I mean, a undrafted free agent earning his spot, which is always great to see, but I didn't see too much of him in the regular seasons. Like I saw him in playing spots, but he didn't really do much per se, and that's okay. Hopefully year 2 that can change. And Tommy Eichenberg, he's a guy I'm earmarking like that. I think needs a good preseason because I wasn't impressed last season at all from that guy. And I know it's early days, but if these other young cats can outplay Tommy Eichenberg, then could be another case of the Byron Young treatment, right?
Yeah, I feel like AP really hinged the development of a lot of our young running backs that he kind of touched bases with. Meaning he kind of
running backs or linebackers.
Linebackers, I'm sorry. Yeah, he kind of like he didn't want to. In my opinion, he didn't want to see them get a chance too young because he felt like they didn't deserve it or something, which is crazy because we had no talent as far as linebacker goes, especially when our guys got hurt and we were scrambling around trying to figure out who's going to play. And they had Masterson in there way too long. He showed very early that he has no business being a starter. Right. Great special teamer, but we
a spot guy. He's my guy, but like I'm going to call it as it is. Like you, I wasn't impressed when I saw him on the field as a starter. Go ahead.
No, yeah. I feel like at that point you got to put Amari in, either Amari, Barney, or Ferrari. I don't care. We got to see. We got to see who's got what, who's going to play. And I think Amari is a better around the line than a lot of people might realize. He meaning he knows when to blitz. He can understand what the offenses are doing, and he'll get back in coverage. He's athletic, runs sideline to sideline. I think we got to get him in there as soon as possible, just to get him more acquainted with what's going on as far as the game plans.
Right, but I guess he's also got to earn it as well. If he's not.
I think balling out in preseason, leading the league in tackles as an undrafted rookie, that's proving it to me. You give him some playing time. Let the kid play.
Right, I get you. I'm talking about in the regular season down the line. The coaching staff see these
they
guys.
Have to trust them.
So yeah,
they have to trust them.
Look, that's last season. I'm looking to this season. Like, can he once again show that he belongs? Because I guess he's another guy who. Like you're an undrafted free agent, like you're gonna have to prove that you belong more than like if we draft 2 linebackers, bring in some UDFAs again this season, and like whatever position. If I'm looking at all these, there's a lot of cats, not just Gaynor or Bernie, like in these last 2 draft classes that like I don't believe in. A lot of people try to highlight to me that these guys are on rosters. Scholarships because we drafted these guys, and I don't believe in that. And I think Byron Young is a good example of that. Backs up my opinion that like just because we draft you doesn't mean you get an automatic pass to stay on the roster. You know what I'm saying? Like you've got to prove to at least be up to the bare minimum standard. And I'm not talking about the high standard. I'm talking about the bare minimum, and that is be better than these other young cats that come in the door. And if you cannot outplay these young cats in the door that come through the door, drafted or undrafted or free agents, you know what I'm saying? Then just because we drafted you a season or 2 ago does not give you an automatic pass. And like I said, when we got Byron Young out of here, he was a good proof of that. I'm going to bring in another guest. I'm just going to change the layout real quickly. We got Chris for Raiders. What's going on, Doug? How are you, brother?
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Nutty. As I get my third cup of coffee in me, I'm good now.
Yeah. Good morning, sir,
my friend.
Hey. So I know you brought me in because you talking about my boy Amari Burney. So,
yep.
The things I noticed, I just want to say this right quick. The things I noticed last year was that he was playing well. He was going sideline to sideline. And me knowing what Pete Carroll is with his defense, he let those sideline linebackers and DBs and all that stuff. I'm not saying he's going to light the world on fire. But obviously we have it linebacker. He's better than Matterson. What's his name?
Masterson.
More athletic for sure.
He's more athletic. You're right.
Yes.
That's all I was telling you, that he's a better option than those guys. And we got that guy Gainer. You have to see him play, because remember,
somebody get this Vernon guy out of here, please. We're not going to talk about that shit. Get him out of here, Mod Gang, please. Anyways, continue.
Oh yeah, there's another guy named Gainer. No, we haven't seen these guys play. They didn't give him a chance to. So this year they'll get chances. That's all I was saying. He's a better option than what we had in linebacker, since we didn't get that guy from New England.
So you have high faith in Bernie, right?
I have more faith in him than the other guys we have on LB.
Devin White, Landon Roberts.
No. Before we got those guys, before we got before we got those guys, Devin White and stuff. That's all I was looking at, because we just signed what's his name, and then Amari Burney. Then we signed Devin White. So, but I'm still high on Burney. You know,
right? I guess for me, like when we had our debate about Bernie, it's just, I guess from the eye test, I haven't been impressed as of yet, and I want to see more from Bernie. You know what I'm saying? And salute to you, Jason. I see you in the feed. I put out the link in the chat if you want to pull up for a minute. I'll just leave it again if you got a minute. Right, there we go. So yeah, look, but Bernie is for me like another one of these guys we drafted in the last.
I like the way you say Bernie. I like that. I just
it is Bernie, right?
Well, if you look at it, it look like it's spelled Bernie, but they call him Bernie. But
right, I was saying Bernie for the longest time, but it is Bernie. Nate, if you try going like this, maybe focus right. Like, bring your hand back.
I think it's that. I think it's a sunlight.
And bring it back slowly. Yep. There we go.
I think that's sunlight.
Nope, not working.
He put some black shades up. Silver black shades.
That's it. Ellis. That's the guy we were talking about.
Ellis.
Ellis guy. Ellis is
Ellis.
the guy.
Ellis, yeah. The Patriots snatched him back. I thought, okay, we're cool in linebacker, but they snatched him back. I'm like, okay, well.
We just don't have a lot of good luck with Patriots players. I'm straight. I'm glad it didn't work out. The next one, yep.
Right. I guess Jacoby Myers is the exception to that, right?
Jacoby Myers, yeah. Adam Butler was there for a quick minute.
Nice.
There were some guys, so I am wrong again. But
I guess speaking of
Nutty, if you notice, where we get most of our defense and stuff from is from where? Steelers and Patriots. That's where we get most of our defensive players from.
Yeah,
most of them. And through the history, through the history of the Raiders, it always come from the Patriots or Steelers.
Yep.
I at the end of the day, I don't care where they come from. Just be good as a Raider. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got PTSD.
Me too.
Yeah.
But all players, a change of scenery, a change of coaching staff, a change of philosophy, do wonders for players. You just don't know. Like Patrick Graham was a defensive coordinator last year, but then before that, it was the head coach was McDummy. So the philosophy changed. You know, the philosophy of the players, the attitude, and the confidence changed when you bring in somebody who believes in you to do the job.
Definitely.
You know.
Yep.
So he might come up, and he might not. I hope he does, but we're good.
Right. But I guess I mentioned Jacoby Myers, and that got me thinking about Michael Mayer. Similar name, but what do you guys think about him? I just thought we might touch up on him. Like, do you think he's going to bring something to do? I mean, I know that they word through the grapevine is that they were shopping him around, right?
Yeah.
No, Michael Mayer.
Michael Mayer. Oh yeah.
It could be some leverage for the draft, as far as compensation, if we're trying to move up or if we end up moving back or some kind of major trade happens. That could be a token in our bag, keep in your back pocket. I like him. I felt like he was good enough that we didn't need the Bowers, but boy, was I wrong. So
you know what, Nate? I'm glad you were wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
So and the way he talked about giving up on us last season because he just didn't want to be at practice because it was so miserable working with McDaniels. That shows a lot of his character right there. So if he wants to go, then ship him off.
Switchy John.
But if he wants to stay and stick around and represent that 87, I like it. But fuck it.
Right. But he's, I was talking before, and he's another guy I'm earmarking. I want to see more. I'm getting sick of these guys that we've drafted, 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago, that are still on our roster, and they still haven't really played up to the standard of giving us, like I keep highlighting, the bare minimum. We drafted him in the second round, and I don't believe we've even got the bare minimum in terms of production from Michael Mayer. Even with, yes, we have Brock Bowers, thank Christ, who's continued the legacy of what we've had at the tight end position for the longest time. Tight end's been a position where, we've struggled in other areas in the last, since the turn of the millennium, but at least with the tight end, we've had a good recent history with guys like Jolly, Zach Miller, and then after him, Michael Rivera, what was it? Brandon Myers. You remember Brandon Myers?
Yeah, you can go back
for a minute. Jared Cook, Darren Waller. I can go back further, yes, but I'm just
go back further than that. So we always had.
Right.
That's one thing. That's one thing Raiders always had. We had tight ends and punters. We always had that on lockdown.
Right.
I expect tight ends to be good when they come into the Raiders.
Do you remember Michael Mayer's first season with us? That tight end group was remember, you guys know how much I've been critical of the running back room we had last season, right? So the year before that, Michael Mayer's rookie season, that tight end room was probably the weakest we'd had since the turn of the millennium. You know what I'm saying? And I guess a lot of that also kind of comes to the now, we're waiting for Michael Mayer to prove to be a good enough depth piece, because I don't believe he's even done that. So I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at a lot of these other young cats. You need to start stepping your game up. I give you 1-2 seasons concessions for development, but this is his third year. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe he's even given us the production, say, of a Foster Moreau.
He quit on us last year. However you want to paint it or you want to picture it, he quit on us. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I get it. Mental health is important, right? But when you quit on your team, on your brothers like that, that's unforgivable in my opinion.
Before you have your take, Chris, before you have your take with Michael Mayer, I just want to say real quickly, even despite that, for me, you take that out of the equation, whether it was the right call for him to take time away because of mental health, and I can understand. I've been actually more understanding to that, when people have been critical of him, I've been understanding to that. But I still stand on what I said. When he has been available, when he has been with us, he hasn't even come close to producing for what we expected from a second round draft pick, which we traded up for. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to reiterate that because we were fresh off the Darren Waller spectacular season, all those catches, the touchdowns, and everything else. So we get into a tight end, we expect the same results, but we didn't get that from Michael Mayer, and then we traded up. So everybody's excited. He was the runner-up for the tight end they get for the college. He was second round behind, guess who? Brock Bowers.
They were calling him baby Gronkowski, right?
So that's what they call him. So we expected, we got another Gronkowski coming in. So we expect so much. We had high expectations. And then he failed us. And then, like you said, he quit on his team. If they trade him, good. Get something for him. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I'm with the trade. They want to trade. Get something good.
I'd like to see it work out because there is potential there. But at the end of the day, you either want to be here or you don't. And his actions tell you pretty much should say everything. So,
right. But I'm looking at production when he has been available, and even as a backup, like Foster Moreau was able to produce as that backup guy when we needed him to, and I don't believe we've even got that from Michael Mayer. You know what I'm saying? And this is a guy who came with a lot more hype and a lot more. Apparently, he's got a lot more skills. And Raider Critique, my guy, what's going on, man? Good morning, gang. Hey, come tap in if you got time. Critique. I'll live with you.
Part of it was we weren't even targeting him. I mean, I don't think I'm tripping. We had Devontae, we had Josh Jacobs, we had a lot of other weapons at that when his rookie year, and then his second year we go and get his replacement, and he has a total mental breakdown. I don't know what happened totally, but that's what it looks like from the outside looking in, and that just shows mental weakness, bro. I guess
my bottom line is there's just too many of these. Go ahead, Chris. You go ahead.
It make dummies. I'm still calling McDummy. In this system, he has certain set plays, and if he has a slot going to the right, the ball has to go there. Now, Michael Mayer don't push me off as a route runner. Bowers can run routes. Yeah. Mayer don't. Mayer's more like go to the sideline, go this and that, and then throw the ball. But in the McDummy system, he wasn't in the spots for them to throw the ball to. Yeah, that's what I see. So maybe he can thrive. Maybe he can thrive again with Chip Kelly. Maybe not.
Yeah.
It's not
a two tight end kind of offense. I believe it's going to fit Bowers for sure.
Well, he ran two tight end offense a few times.
Oh, you think? Okay.
Usually, I observed Chip Kelly when I watched him in Oregon and Philadelphia. He ran two tight end sets very rarely. Usually within a red zone, he ran two tight end set. That's where he needed it.
Yeah.
Hey, Marcus Banks, my guy. Salute to you.
Hey, Marcus. Salute, Marcus.
Good to see you. But yeah, like I was just gonna say, he's just another one of these guys. Like I highlighted before, there's been too many of these hangers on in these last 2-3 draft classes that I'm still waiting to establish themselves as even decent rotational guys. I mean, I'm looking at guys like Matthew Butler, Zamir White. I want him out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like that 2023 draft class, like whatever you want to say about, Tyree Wilson, he still needs to live up to that bare minimum expectation as a first-round draft pick. Being a rotational guy in spots just doesn't cut it for me. Michael Mayer, another guy. Trey Tucker's decent in spots, but like Amari Booney falls in that category. Christopher Smith falls in that category. Guys from last season, you know what I'm saying? Tommy Eichenberg, Dylan Lorby. I'm getting tired of these cats not doing the bare minimum. And there's people out there that say, "Oh, we need to retain these players because they are on roster scholarships just because we drafted them." Fuck that. Give us the bare friggin' minimum. Otherwise, get out of here and replace these guys.
All the players you mentioned. I don't give a fuck if they get rid of them or not.
Exactly my point, and that's the problem. Only
I said Mark Burton might do well in this, but the rest of those fuckers, if they want to get cut, get somebody to play better than them. I don't care. Get by. I'm tired. Like you said, I'm tired of this shit too.
Exactly, and that's a problem. That is a problem that you feel that way. I'm sure you feel that way too, Nate.
Yeah, definitely. If they don't want to be here, bro, yeah. If they play like they don't want to be here, if they don't want to make tackles, Jack Jones, if they don't want to get their hands dirty or marks on their helmet, fucking kick rocks, bro. If you don't want to get off the line on time and you need more time to work on your get off, kick rocks, bro. You're a first round pick, fucking 6th, 7th overall. I'm done with these project fucking piece players. That we're in the hole we are in right now because of how bad of our history of drafting has been. It's just
there's one thing that AP did last year that I like. Damn, now you're a head coach. When he sat Marcus Ole or Matador Pearson down because he wouldn't make tackles. Wow, you find now you're a head coach. Now you did the right shit. You don't make tackles. Sit his ass on the curb. Get out of here.
Well, Jack Jones got benched for that too, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, what do you call it? Business decision? Yeah, business decision.
One game.
Half a game, I think.
Yeah, not even that. And then he continued to play like that. So AP definitely He had more rope for Jack Jones than a lot of the other players.
AP wasn't a coach. Like I told me and Eric to talk about that. AP wasn't a coach. He was their friend.
Yeah, you're right.
When you play football, you ever play sports, Nate? I don't know.
Yep.
First time I met you. Yep. So what do you call the guy in charge? What do you call him? The guy in charge?
Coach.
Thank you. Coach. These bastards are calling him, AP. No, he's a coach. Call him coach.
Yeah.
Has no respect.
Yeah, I agree. I see that.
And this comment here: if Tyree doesn't show up this year, should try and trade him. He's got a short leash. Right. This is his third season. I'm tired of these cats making excuses for the guy. And I've been tired for the last two seasons.
Who wants him?
Yeah, exactly. Who's going to trade for Tyree Wilson if by year 3 he doesn't show the bare minimum standard for what you expect from a first round draft pick at top 10? Then we'd be lucky to get a 6th rounder for the guy. And that's just being.
We'd be lucky to get a ham sandwich from him and Zamir White. So,
right. Oh, here we go. We got the Truth with Intensity backstage, making his return to the live scene for 2025. Please welcome my brother in arms when it comes to the Tecmo Super Bowl and the current Tecmo Super Bowl People's Champ.
That's my dog.
The Raider motherfucking critique. What's going on, gang?
What's up, y'all? How you doing?
How
do I sound?
You sound fantastic, my friend. Good to see you. My Raider brother in arms.
You sound better than me and look better than me, man. I'm kind of jealous now. I'm about to get off. So I got to see you guys. Streaks on by.
I don't look better than I'm gonna try to set
you were fine before, man. You were fine before.
Yeah,
there we go.
I'm fucking still adjusting over here in the studio because I had to move everything out after my internet took a shit for like 2 weeks and I haven't been able to play. Well, I ain't been able to play Tecmo Super Bowl, but I ain't been eating no fucking Vegemite neither. So that's actually a good thing.
I had to eat it the last time. So
wait. Was that a dig? I heard a dig.
Hey, after you eat that shit, trust me, you'll never want to eat it again. Trust me.
Move over a little bit. Hey, Cheek. Move over a little bit. That way.
Okay, this way. All right. There we go.
There we go. Perfect. So, Katik, I don't know if you've been catching up with what we've been talking about, but I don't know what's your current takes on the state of affairs. Anything?
I'm up in the air about it. Now, you already know me and Ern was going at each other in the chat about.
I saw that. Shout out to Westside.
6.5 million guaranteed. But hey, I guess that's kind of small for a starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But damn.
The guaranteed money for me doesn't count. I mean, it's nice for the player, but as long as it doesn't affect the team, the cap is what affects the team. So that's the number I look for. The guaranteed money, get all the money you can. I'm not against that, but we got to keep room for the rest of the players. We gotta sign.
Plus, it looked like a top end money. It's not like at the back end like the way you used to do back end. And all of a sudden the guy don't work out. In the second year he gone. We still got to pay another $40 million. So it's like we'll get you the money now, then play. Then the third year, if you don't like you, bye.
Yeah.
Do you guys still think we're going to try and take a shot in the draft with a young cat, or do you think
hell yeah,
just going to roll with
we have to.
You think we're still going to roll with Gino?
We have to
roll with Aiden O'Connell being the young guy who can be the depth.
We'll take the quarterback in this draft. When and where, I don't know when or where, but we got to take a quarterback. They got to. Gino sits here for 3 years. Aiden O'Connell is not the starter.
Well,
Aiden O'Connell is a good backup.
You don't give an extension like this to somebody who hasn't taken a snap for the football team. I don't care what the hell he did in Seattle. I don't care what he did with New York. You don't give that type of an extension if you are looking to pick up a quarterback in the draft.
But
so you throw the quarterback right out the window. We're getting a running back first round.
They take a quarterback.
I guarantee that shit that we take a running back first round.
They're taking a quarterback to sit for a couple of years. They go because even Brady says, "Hey, this system is stupid." They get a rookie quarterback, they put him in the game, and he sucks. Get a quarterback to sit. They might take a quarterback in the 4th round. I don't know, but maybe in the 1st round. But I'm saying they're gonna take a quarterback, have him sit because you're gonna rely on Carter Bradley and
Such a-
AOC to run this team after Gino Smith contract ends and he leaves? Hell no. You go back to sit behind him. The style of quarterback that they want.
Well, how I figure it, bro, is I honestly feel like that if we're going to give an extension like that, then why would we draft a quarterback? To me, when they give an extension like this, it's because they don't have confidence in the quarterback class that's coming up right now outside of Cam Ward. And we're not going to give up everything to move up to number one. Just to pick
I
up
agree.
Cam Ward.
I agree.
So
I'm just saying. I'm saying that.
One second.
Okay, go ahead.
1 second.
Go ahead.
Why not hold on for one more year? Try to patch up something that we got. Maybe, hopefully, bring Gino Smith in here, and maybe he can do a Sam Darnold type resurgence. What he did with the Vikings, and if not, hey, Archie Manning's in the draft next year. So much better quarterback class next season. I honestly believe that's probably the route that we're going. But seeing that we made the extension tells me right now, this team, this front office, doesn't believe in the quarterback class outside of Cam Ward.
I agree with that. Here's the thing about that situation. I just said they're going to draft a quarterback this year. I didn't say they're going to draft him in number 6, no the second round, third round, fourth round. I said they're going to draft a quarterback in there. So they throw him here, let him sit for a year or two. If you draft a quarterback in the first round, that pretty much means he had to start. Right. You know, that he has to start. I'm saying they're going to draft a quarterback, sit, because they need another young quarterback here to learn. And you said Arch Manning? We don't know what the hell is going to be. I haven't seen him play but one game last year. He might shit the bed next year.
He might be shitty.
Yeah, he might be like he might be. I don't know. So I can't wait till next year for. Let's wait next year because we ain't got the motherfucking quarterback in since what? Before round 3 ever in a while.
Yeah, I don't think it's a guarantee he comes out of college next year. We do got to get Gino. I'm with Critique on this all the way. We got to get him protection. We got to get him weapons. Otherwise, throwing all that money at him is a waste. And it's just it's a wash this year. So we got to try to get him the right pieces around him to be successful.
Better than DC, bro. Because if not, we're throwing the same amount of money at him that DC was asking for 3 years ago.
Right. I guess
money, bro.
You missed my point. I'm saying. You missed the point I'm saying. I'm just saying they'll draft their quarterback. I ain't saying they're gonna draft a quarterback in number 6, number 2, second round, or third round. I'm saying they're gonna pick up one of these young quarterbacks to see what they got. Sit your ass down the bench, watch Gino Smith perform for the next 2 years. I'll put you in there and see how you do. If you don't, we'll draft next year. We'll draft another one. They got to keep drafting quarterbacks till they find the right fucking piece. That's all.
To that point though, like I only want them to draft it. They're going to look for a guy in rounds 2, 3, or 4 because we're not going to go in the quarterback direction round 1. Like I only want them to take a flyer if there's a guy that's there that has a higher ceiling than Aiden O'Connell. Because if there's not, if we're taking a guy who they don't think has got a higher ceiling, has got pretty much the same or maybe just a little bit more, like that's not good enough for me. It's just like, well, what's the point?
Did you guys hear that we were in the running for Milton before he got shipped off to where'd he go?
Right.
Dallas, that's right. He got shipped off to Dallas.
Wanted to go. We
were in the mix though, so it's interesting to another good point that we're not really high on the quarterbacks coming out this year. We're looking to make trades within their conference. So
right. And I guess like it's to that point, like we're talking about how Chris, you want to go the quarterback direction.
No, I don't want to go the quarterback direction. I'm just saying.
I hang on. Let me finish. I know you're saying like round 2 or 3. I'm saying early, whatever it may be. Like you still want to address it if there's somebody better there, right? Mm-hmm. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, Critique. You're talking about how you feel like the trenches, and you as well, Nate. You feel like the trenches need to be addressed early in the draft, right?
Running back.
Right. And also we're looking at this. Hear me out. We're looking at the skill position that needs to be addressed probably early in the draft, right? So that's pretty much our entire offense, bar the tight end position that needs an overhaul. And we're looking at guys in the draft. And if that's the case leading up to the draft, and this is why I feel like this is a transitional year, like, are we really banking on like we've got to hit it out of the ballpark at every single one of those positions if I feel like we're going to be a competitive force this year. Because right now, after free agency, I like some of the moves, but like as a whole, like I don't feel like we've done enough that's going to take us to be a competitive force if we're looking to lean on the draft to address just about every spot on the offensive roster. You know what I'm saying? That needs an upgrade, right?
Especially being in the best division in football. I mean, literally, we're in the best division in football. We play against the number one fucking team every year, twice a year. You know what I mean? So, and did we make the moves to be able to compete with the Chiefs? I hope we have. I like the moves that we've made on defense. He's pretty much, they're pretty much giving out 1 year prove it deals on defense.
Right.
Patrick Chung is going to be great. I don't really remember
Patrick Chung.
Is it Chung?
Patrick Chung. Come on, dog.
So we signed somebody else we know about.
Patrick Chung.
I think I got him confused with another safety, but I know that the safety.
Yes, Patrick Chung was a safety. Jeremy
safety
Chin.
for the Patriot. Jeremy Chin. Patrick Chung. I hope to God he's better than that. I hope to God he's better than Trayvon Moehrig, because we just let Moehrig walk out the fucking building when he was our bright spot in the secondary. We
only until it was like that bright spot when Epps got hurt and they put him in a different position, because Patrick Moore was playing free, then they put him at strong. So that's where he thrived at. He played more box.
Epps was an absolute trash free agent pickup anyway. Don't understand why we brought him in.
Who's that critique?
Marcus Epps.
He was underwhelming, but I wouldn't call him trash. He was a vocal piece in the backfield. He kind of got more going. He kind of kept that communication as far as talking with the DBs. He had shit on lock for the most part. But I agree.
I get that. I get that. But hang on. Can I just make a point with Marcus Epps? Like I get that, and a lot of the DBs were very high and with their respect for Marcus Epps, especially when he was injured. Like, players are rocking his jersey and that in their support for the guy. But at the same time, name me one time at the top of your dome where you noticed Marcus Epps or can remember Marcus Epps making a splash play, because I cannot remember a time. Now, hang on. Now that I've asked you that question, now you think about, like, Moehrig's gone now, but you look at guy like Polamalu, his replacement. There were many a times last season where you noticed him making splash play. The guy was the defensive player of the week in the AFC. You know what I'm saying? So I am not crying spilt milk about Marcus. No. See you later. Goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Polamalu has well outperformed what we expect. Like, and I talk about minimum expectation players. Like, this is a guy who came in as an undrafted free agent 3 seasons ago. Now he's not just a competent starter. Like, he's a playmaking starter. He did a lot of the good things last season and earned that starting role. You know what I'm saying? Not just you're a starter because players are injured kind of deal. Like, he earned it and outplayed a lot of the other safeties we have in the
That's what the Raiders in the past will sign these players because they did well in other teams because of their name. Like them, Marcus Peterson, we should have got him like years ago, but we're gonna get him now. And Marcus Epps, he did good when he was in Philly. Get him now. Give him all his money. What they do? Shit the bed. So now they're signing players.
Gino, bro, because we gave him all that.
Wait, hold on. Let me tell you what I'm saying. So now we are signing players that I never heard. I heard Jeremy Chin, but I never heard of them. They sign players to play the position that Pete Carroll likes them for them to play. They're playing in their position. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What about Gino Smith?
That's what I'm worried about Gino Smith for, because we gave him all that money. It's not the extension that bothered me, it's the timing. And let me explain why. All right. You want to give the dude an incentive to want to do well, right? So you give him $65 million guaranteed. What the critique would have done, not like I'm fucking an expert or anything, but I would have gave him $25 million for 1 year. And then if he wrecked shop and did absolutely everything he could to make it to where this team won, then we talk about a contract extension. They did it too early. And I just hope that this doesn't end up coming back to bite us in the end.
Okay. Yep. That's it. Can I say something now? Okay. That money you're talking about is not much at all compared to the rest of the NFL quarterbacks. That actually is a pretty good deal. Now, you said 1 year. All right. So what are we going to do next year?
Right, but see,
Okay. Well, no, I'm asking you a question. Well, we're going to ask you a question. I'm asking you a question. Answer critique. I like talking
draft
to
a
you.
fucking quarterback, bro.
Okay, so you're gonna want a rookie quarterback to come in and try to take over the team. Again, you're gonna want a rookie quarterback to come in and draft and run the team.
Jerry.
Is that right? Because we don't know. You talk about next year's quarterback class is better than this one. We don't know. They probably all might shit the bed. Quarterbacks are a dime a dozen. So you're gonna hope we're gonna do like we always do, hope and praying we get a good quarterback. No, we got time for that shit. Sign him in for 3 years. Let him play, perform. You know what? Like you said, he's better. He's better than Carr was. So yeah, I'll take that.
How many quarterbacks were on their rookie scale deal in the playoffs last year?
That's once in a lifetime.
Okay.
How many times did it happen? Okay. How many times did it happen in the past?
No, it happens now because we are in a new era for the NFL, my brother. And I'm telling you, these players are a whole hell of a lot better.
Well, but all those teams in the playoffs with the rookie contract, they all had a solid team around them, bro. So we got to, and they all had solid trenches. They all got the good pieces around that quarterback to be successful. Other than Jaden Daniels, I feel like a lot of those dudes got carried by their team. So
thank you, Nate.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, look at Patrick Mahomes. How many years did he go in on his rookie deal? And they went to how many Super Bowls? They went to the playoffs how many times? The Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, same difference. How many on his rookie scale deal? Going to the playoffs every year, but can at least getting close. I'm saying that the upside is a lot better with these rookie quarterbacks because you're on a rookie grade deal to where you can put money into your team for the missing spots that you have. Missing spots that we have, like Colton Miller, who literally is like 4 steps back from where he was 3 years ago. We have to get somebody there. And how are you going to do that when you're paying $66.5 billion for a quarterback? We have to build the trenches. We need a running back. We've always buttered our bread with the running game. If we ain't got a running game, you see what happens with that.
Okay.
Look at what happened with Zamir White last year.
Okay, Christy, you mentioned Patrick.
Hang on, let critique finish. Hang on, let critique finish.
Oh,
hang on.
The upside on a rookie quarterback is that there's more upside to it. And then not to mention, we can mold him. We can build him. We can build a team around him. Unlike the Jets, who fucking reached out, got Aaron Rodgers, went and picked up Devontae Adams, built their whole team with all these veterans. Where'd they end up? Bottom of the division. So, I mean, I'm not looking to go that route anymore. I'm tired of fucking these rehashes. If we're going to burn it down and build it up, then burn it to the ground and build it up. Stop trying to piece shit together.
Okay, let me say something. You mentioned Patrick Mahomes. You mentioned Patrick Mahomes. He came for a good deal. What did he do his first year? Sat behind Alex Smith. He didn't get Super Bowl too. That damn near almost last year's contract. Right. Took him 3 fucking years, almost 4 years to get to a Super Bowl or a playoff. 2 years. Okay.
2.
But what did he do? He sat behind. Who did he sat behind? He sat behind Alex Smith for a fucking year. That's what I'm saying. They need to do.
You could teach him.
Okay.
We had that too. Remember how all the teams were built up.
Okay, well, no. I'll let you talk. Let me finish. So that's what I'm saying the Raiders need to do. I ain't saying draft a quarterback high in the first round, second, third, fourth. You can get one of these guys low. There's some people only think there's 3 quarterbacks in this draft. There's fucking 9, 10 quarterbacks in this draft. You know, there are a lot of quarterbacks in there. They might have eyes. This guy's pretty good. He's not getting high tall because he comes from a smaller school or he comes from like one of the Big Ten or he won in the playoff. So what? Draft the motherfucker. Let him sit for a year or two because we got Gino for 3 years. Let him sit. Let him learn. He might come out there and be the fucking I hate to say his name, but Tom Brady. Way later rounds come out there and be one of those guys. Okay?
Round 6.
That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying get Shedeur Sanders at number 6. I'm not saying get this trade up the capital for get Cam Ward. I'm not saying that. I'm not.
None of us said that you said that, Chris.
No. I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they need to draft. They need to draft a quarterback somewhere in the draft to sit. Because I'm not putting my chips on Gino Smith 1 year he leaves, and then AOC's taking over or Carter Bradley. I don't trust those guys. Not the Chip Kelly offense. I don't trust those guys.
Well,
we're back yet. Huh?
we had a team, like everybody was built up around it. Any quarterback could have literally fucking played back there except for Garner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. Like, why? Why did we do that to ourselves? Like,
Or
I just don't
Garoppolo.
understand. If we were going to move on, we should have got Gino last year. All right.
I agree.
We
Are you talking about when we
should've.
moved on from Carr? Are you talking about the year where we
You know, when
moved
we
on from
moved
Carr?
on from Carr, and then we got Jimmy G and fucking Garner Minshew. Like, these were
No, Brian
wasted
Hoyer.
Oh no,
picks.
yeah. See, you got me
Man,
on
I
that.
just
I
wish we
agree.
would have done something.
Right. And it's like I keep saying, that's always been my problem when we move on from these guys. However you may feel, whether you appreciate them for the good times or you're going to look at how it ended to be their full stop. If we're going to move on from these guys, I'm looking at Carr, I'm looking at Jacobs, I'm looking at Waller, I'm looking at Renfro, then you got to have a plan. Like, okay, we're moving on from these guys. Once a Raider, always a Raider. What's the plan? You know what I'm saying? And you know, quarterback, running back, the plans that we thought we had in place haven't even come up to the bare minimum standard for what we wanted to replace those said players. So, you know, I'm there with you guys. Like, I mean, like you both make good points. Like, let's just.
I don't think any of it. I know I'm not going to be happy until we start winning. And I'll shut the fuck up once we start winning. But until we start winning, I'm not shutting up, dude. Do this shit correctly. I'm just so sick of this shit. I'm so sick of the fucking heartache.
I'm with you. Critique is a right way and a wrong way, and we've been doing it the wrong way for a long time. So it's about time we get this ship right. And Pete Carroll, bro, I'm gonna go back to Pete Carroll. He's the light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully, he gets us right.
Right. I'm there with you. Well, we've been shooting for an hour now. Like, I don't know how much more time you've got left, Nate. You still got a bit of time?
We chilling. Yeah, we chilling. Critique's here now. Shit.
Yeah, Critique. Good
Yeah,
to
I'm
see you, my
here,
friend.
bro.
So I guess, like, go
Hopefully,
ahead.
Chris comes back.
Yeah. I was just waiting for him to situate himself.
Sorry, I had to go do something. Yeah, I agree with you, Critique. I agree with you, Nick. You know what? I'm an old school guy. I've been dealing with this bullshit for 40 fucking years, over 40 years. You know what?
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't change my colors, but enough's enough. I believe in Pete Carroll because I see when he did. I'm a USC fan. I see what he did USC. Took a shitty ass college team to a high power. I see this Seattle. Took him to the Super Bowl twice. I'm not saying he's doing next year, but I believe he can change the team around.
Me too. I just think we need to give him some time to be able to do that. But to this comment here, Ray's got a question for you. Salute to you, Ray. Send over. A part of our Raider Rivals gang. Salute to Jerry, Ray, I'm Not Bueno, Charm, and Alfredo and LV Raider, as well as Jeff. So salute you, gang. There's a question for you. You got to go going? You got to go, Chris?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I was somebody.
So that question's for you, Critique, specifically.
What's that? What's the question?
Can you see?
Critique, what do you expect our record to be?
No more than 6 wins.
Okay, so you believe what I feel like this is going to be a transitional year?
Absolutely.
Well, likely
absolutely. We're not gonna light up the scoreboard. So, and if defense can keep teams under 10 points, we might win a few.
Right. Okay. Well, look, like the draft is what, 3 weeks away, right?
Yeah, 3 weeks. Yes, sir. Yeah.
It looks like our rosters for now
April
is
24th.
Yep. April 24th. So that's 20 days. So that's, just a shade under 3 weeks. It seems like we're not really going to make too many more moves unless we hire a free agent out of nowhere or whatever. I don't see us making any trades, but whatever, we will see. So as it stands, come to the draft, like of the draft prospects that will likely be there around that round 1, pick 6 range. I'll start off with you, Nutty Raider Nate. What's the direction you want to go in?
Trenches. Yeah, it's forever, for life, faux life. I think Mason Graham, I hear him falling down the draft, and I think that with Mason Graham, my dog, that's my dog. I think with Mason Graham falling down, I think he's a can't miss kind of player. I love it. He's contributed on his Michigan team for 3 years, I think, and he's every year he's balled out, in my opinion. This year it kind of slowed down a little bit, but I'm not expecting a big drop off when it gets to the NFL. I think it's just teams were more concerned or concentrated on making sure he was blocked, so he got more game planned against. So if Mason Graham's there and they're saying he's falling because his bench press and a couple of other things, I think his arms were short or something. If you watch film on him all 4 years or 3 years, he's always causing havoc in the backfield. So that's my can't miss guy. Another one is I'll go on the other side and I'll get one of these offensive linemen. I really like Mutombo or Membo.
Membo,
up
Membo,
there.
yeah.
Fucking up. Yeah,
He's a Membo.
He's a
Graham,
dog.
you guys.
Yeah, he's a dog. He's nasty.
And who was the other guy you said?
Graham and Membo.
Membo's a tackle, but he can play guard, but he's nasty.
Right.
Yeah, he's only 6'3". He is on the smaller side, but that's the kind of direction that the NFL is kind of going nowadays. They're getting away from the big ogre tackles that used to dominate the NFL because nowadays the NFL's, as far as pass rushers go, they got guys like Malcolm Kuntz and what's his name? Those smaller kind of edge rushers that just get around the corner.
Speed rushers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you need those smaller guys that are more agile, got better footwork. Especially if we're going to run that zone run that Chip Kelly likes to run. Those tackles got to get on their feet and get out there. So, yeah.
Is he a tackle or an inside guy?
He's a tackle. He's only 6'3". He's a tackle. He's a little undersized, but he's dope.
I like Meredith. I was giving that guy praise,
even
not just last season before that, when everyone else was kind of crapping on the dude.
Meredith.
I appreciate Meredith.
Meredith's
just read his baby. Nice
he's stout. He's stout. Parham.
I like Meredith.
Is that Jay? Christopher Raiders?
Yeah, that's Jay. Yeah, that's Jay.
Ben, I'll put respect on Parham's name when he stops getting bullied and pushed back in the line.
Joe, high five, critique.
Parham trash.
All right, so I asked Nate. So Nate, your guys are Membo and Graham.
Yeah.
And before I move to maybe critique, we'll get the next take. What do you think of Tayroa McMillan? I mean, I see his name popping up like as that number one wide receiver prospect, and I said his name Tayroa McMillan. I believe that's how you say it properly, because a lot of these other cats are too lazy to call him his real name. They all call him T-Mac this and T-Mac that. All I see is T-Mac everywhere I go on YouTube. Call him by his proper name, for God's damn sake. Like, put some freaking effort into it. Anyways, continue.
It was like Bernay. Come on.
Dylan Parham.
Does anybody have a take on Tayroa McMillan?
He's too stiff. He's too stiff.
Not a six. Not number 6. No.
Doesn't get a lot of separation. Another thing I don't like about him is he's played with that quarterback in Arizona. He's played with them for since they were like in Pop Warner. So they have a chemistry there that he just throws it up to him and he knows he's going to get it. So it's going to be hard to find that kind of chemistry when he comes to the NFL. I don't think he's going to.
He's a good 50-50 guy because he's tall. He's a good red zone threat, but I don't trust him down the field in running certain routes because I don't think he'd be a number 6, but I would pick him at 6 because he is falling in the draft right now according to the boards. But yeah,
these players don't deserve no nicknames until they earn it in the NFL. I don't give a damn what you've done in college. Earn your
Baby
nickname.
Gronk, remember that one, Baby Gronk?
Right.
Yeah,
that was
Zeus.
Was that Myers?
Wyatt. Earn your nickname in the
wasn't that Mayers was supposed to be Baby Gronk?
Yep, Mayer was supposed to be Baby Gronk when he wound up being fucking Baby Olsen.
On that note, critique. What's your take?
Running back round 1.
Janty?
If we're gonna miss out on the number 1 quarterback in the draft, then we don't need to miss out on the number 1 running back in the draft. We should be able to get him at 6.
Hallelujah. I'm with it. Is that your guy? Just Genty?
Yeah, I'm going
Genty
Ashton
by any
Genty,
means.
bro.
Hell yeah.
Ashton Genty.
I'm not against it. No, he's a baller. I'm not against it.
If we miss out on Ashton Genty, maybe we can get Scattaboo, but I'm not really like all high on Scattaboo. You know, there's a lot of good running backs in the draft, though.
I'm high on any running back this year. I keep saying it. You cannot
anybody
tell
but
me
Deuce.
if we draft
white.
2 guys, you could even find a Joe Schmo from one of these smaller colleges in round 7. You cannot tell me.
We tried that. Didn't work.
That whoever we bring in the door cannot give you better than 2.8 freaking yards per carry, more fumbles and touchdowns right from the rip. I am not going another season with these cats. They can all get it and go, as far as I'm concerned. Draft one, draft two, bring in some more free agents. I don't give a fuck. Anyways.
Here's my impersonation of Zamir White.
That says it all. That sums it up right there.
I'm going to run into my bunkers now.
I see a butt. I'm running behind it.
That's it. Fucking all that muscle and couldn't do a fucking thing with it. God, if I could have fucking had that muscle, I would have dominated in the NFL. God.
Fake ass Bo Jackson.
It's not just it, and salute to you, Welsh Snack. Like, it's the whole running back crew from last season. I'm not going another season where we are ranked dead friggin' last by a bullet, and the only reason why it wasn't in even bigger bullet or margin was because a guy I get heavily critical of before he actually showed that he could play. Sincere McCormick came on and did some things. Amir Abdullah, the seasoned veteran, the solid presence, at least showed some things. You know what I'm saying? But that's the very least. Like, Amir Abdullah ain't here anymore, as far as I know. Sincere McCormick's going to get his chance to fight for a roster spot in preseason. But as to my point, I am not rolling with this running back by committee crew that we had last season. As far as I'm concerned, every single one of them are on notice. They better outplay 2-3 of these cats that we bring in the door via the draft or undrafted free agency. I don't give a fuck. And if you cannot beat 2 or 3 of these cats, then get up out of here. See you goodbye. But anyways, you got something to say, Chris?
But it was some McCormick and Abdullah was running good. Who was a fucking center?
JPJ.
Andre James.
Thank you. So this bullshit about JPJ got to compete for center is stupid. Anyway, I'm gonna say my draft pick. I'm with my man up here. I want the line. So either get a defensive lineman like Graham is great. Get an offensive lineman. Membu was great. The running backs, I get it. Critique, I get it. He's like the number one running back in his draft class, but there are a lot of options out there that's even better. That could be better. I mean, he's a dog, but you know, if a member was there or Graham is there at 6, I'm taking one of those guys because you can't run the ball if you can't block. You cannot sack Mahomes. The defense line is good anyway. But I'm just saying. Get the extra pressure. I can see Wilkins next to Graham, and the other guys mixed in. Give the guys a break and rest. They don't know where it's coming from. I can see a Mimbu blocking at guard. He's too small. I don't think he'll be out glazed. But I can see him at guard next to JPJ and Mumford, or switch it around, which way you want to do it. Because that dude's nasty. And the other guy from North Dakota State, that dude's nasty. I want nastiness on our offensive line.
Yeah.
JPJ is the epitome of a fucking Raider. That dude don't give him plays. He's down. He's chasing down fucking cornerbacks, blocking for the right receivers. He's 15 yards downfield. What other offensive lineman downfield? There's the only one. He's the only
Remember
one.
those videos of the guy like literally like doing WWE moves, like you know, body slamming and throwing dudes across the friggin' screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never seen that from
somebody next to JPJ that just as nasty. Nasty. Right. They don't give him blocks. Chris Jones trying to come in. Fuck you. Boom. Knock his ass, slap his ass back.
Attitude. We got to have more hogs with attitude. You can't have these passive, aggressive Colton Millers out there.
Because
Andre James.
Palmer loses the block and he'll just stand there. Like, dude, do something. You lost on the block. Do something. Go chase the guy down something. He was like, get the fuck out of here. But
that motherfucker ain't got a Twinkie in his hand. He ain't chasing shit.
Yeah, but I'm with you on that, Nate. I'm with you. Get either one of those two guys, fine. I mean,
we got to upgrade. And I think
Genty might go before 6. So I heard some reports that he might even go before that.
Right. New York will be looking at it.
Block is like watching Afakasi play NFL blitz. That dude just wreck shot, throw a motherfucker down and drop the leg on him. I like JPJ, dude. He's all right. That dude's a Raider through and through.
Hey, hell yeah, he is. Go on, Nate. You had to take.
No, I was going to say Wilkins. He's coming off that injury as well. I think that's another good reason why we should be looking at Mason Graham. because Christian Wilkins, he's not going to be 100% coming back to his starting role as far as
is Graham sorry to interrupt you. Is he an end or is he an interior?
He's
guy?
He's a three technique. He
okay.
can play one. He can play the shade
yeah.
nose, but I think he's better off as a three technique. He can push the pocket.
Right.
So,
That's all we need. That's all we need, because like you said, you remember Kelly, like your favorite guys, AR.
Roman Kelly, Richard Seymour.
Remember what they did? They just push up the middle, keep that quarterback from stepping up in the pocket.
Burgess is still there, right?
What Mahomes famous for? Stepping the right, stepping up. If you get that pressure up the middle, they can't step up. Then you got Crosby, you got Coombs. Then you can't step, but you got to go one way or the other. Now we got them. In the last few years, the Raiders had nobody pushing the offensive line in the middle. Nobody up the middle.
Yeah.
Adam Butler.
Well, yeah, but he was in and out. He was in and out. You know what I'm saying?
Put some respect on Adam Butler's name.
I'm glad they signed him. I put in the chat. I'm happy they signed him. I was ecstatic.
Right.
Glad they kept
But
him.
like to that point, like sorry, Katrina, you want to go ahead?
He kind of reminds me of a Darius Philon. Dude plays with all heart. He might not have all the intangibles.
Can somebody share up Benson's channel, please? To
be a top defensive lineman, but man, you really can't replace Hart, dude. So I like Adam Butler. I mean, you got to have a backup in there for him. I think running back's more important. I really do.
Not a running back. A running back room. We need more than just one running back. We need a few of them.
We need a whole room.
I made a joke. I think
fucking Antonio Pierce.
But I guess like it's just a balance of it. Like if Graham is that, if say Graham and Genty are available, and Graham is that much of a can't miss prospect, even more so than Genty, then I guess I'd be okay if we pulled the trigger. But with that said, like if we do go that route of drafting Graham or whoever in interior early or wherever in the draft, can you at least be a decent player? Because we've swung how many times in the last 10 years in trying to find a defensive tackle that's at least somewhat competent. And I'm not even talking about a baller. I'm talking about even a little bit more than mid. And every single guy we brought in the door has been a disappointment. I mean, look at the last 3-4 draft classes alone. Like these guys, they don't even last a freaking season. A Byron Young, a Matthew Butler, Neil Farrell Jr., fucking Jihad Ward, your favorite player. What's his name? Critique. Eddie Vander doesn't. You know what I'm saying? PJ Hall. You know what I'm saying? Like the list goes on and on and on with these cats that we're bringing in at defensive tackle via the draft, and they ain't shit.
Well, you got to remember, the Raiders drafted the wrong Brian Young, so that wasn't their fault. They drafted the wrong Byron Young, so
I put some of the blame on Patrick Graham for that. Like you're in charge of the defense, bro. You got to make sure you got the right Brian Young, bro. Yeah.
No, he in charge of defense, but he in charge of
despite Byron Young, like even like the other names that I'm talking about, like all those other cats that are here, and they don't even do like the bare minimum, like nada, squat. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting sick and tired of bringing these defensive tackles via the draft, and none of them have panned out. Can one guy just please be at least, remember Justin Jelly Ellis? I mean, he wasn't a household name, but he at least did all right for him.
Yeah, I remember.
You know what I'm saying?
Stuck around longer than 2 years. Yeah.
Of the bunch that we brought in the door via the draft, can we at least get something like that instead of these scrubs that ain't doing nada? Please.
I think so.
Yeah, stop drafting people who were hurt. How about that?
Players,
that'd be
project
cool.
players. Yep.
Yeah. Tired of fucking picking up people. Oh, I've got a bum ankle. I'm not going to be able to play for the first season. But hey, I'll be ready year 2.
Yep.
I don't want to hear that, man.
That's true. Facts.
Taking mid rounds are 50-50 at best. Well, even guys we drafted like rounds 2, round 3, like, PJ Hall, Jihad Ward. Granted, Jihad Ward went to another team and did some things, but he did nada for us, of course. You know what I'm saying? And Eddie Vander doesn't. Where was he drafted? What, round 3? You know what I'm saying? So it's just to my point, like I'm sick and tired of looking and trying to find guys via the interior in the draft that don't pan out. So,
second round pick.
99?
Yeah, Vander was a second round pick. PJ Hall was a second round pick. Jihad Ward, second round pick.
All 2 second rounds.
Yeah. It's
Byron was a second round pick.
High draft picks.
Byron Young was a 3rd-round pick. Yep.
3rd round. Okay, yeah, 3rd round.
Yep.
So they were all right. First 3 rounds
we
are
could
amazing.
have had Hendon Hooker with that pick, by the way.
Yep.
That could have been Hendon Hooker instead of Byron Young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot of players than the
There
wrong.
could be a bunch of, like you said, there could be a bunch of players we could have got over Byron Young. But like I said, they picked the wrong Byron Young. Like, what the fuck? Do your research, man.
Yeah, they're over there fucking taking bong rips right before the pick happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking McDaniel's over there fucking no, he probably eating Boston Scrot or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Boston Scrot. Right.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Well, my perspective on the draft, because I mean I'm not a draft nut per se. Like, I mean, I've heard some of the names been thrown out there. I haven't done my extensive research, so I don't really have a guy per se. But like the way I see it is that like a lot of the guys that are going through the rumorville that we should take, like anybody in that top 10 range, if that's the direction they go, then I'm going to be with it. As long as it's not like a friggin' out of left field pick, like an Alex Leatherwood, a Damon
DJ Hayden.
Arnett, DJ Hayden, even to a point.
Now,
you know what? Like, as long as it's not one of those.
Gino Smith could have been our quarterback. Who they take? They took DJ Hayden.
Yeah.
So it was 2013.
Okay.
It was
The
2013.
dude who died on the field, by the way.
Yeah.
He died on the field and had to be revived, and we drafted him.
Yeah.
Right. But let's not speak too ill of DJ because he recently passed. So
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's right there.
fly high, DJ. Like,
R.I.P. brother.
Right, R.I.P.
But what sucks is that's what our front office does. They take chances. You know what I mean? And sometimes it works out. Most of the time it don't.
Right. Let's not take a chance. Like, I mean, the only position I'd be with taking a chance is, and I've said this a few times on record, is the quarterback position. If they believe that whoever they're looking at early in the draft, if it's early or even a little bit later, if they believe that whoever it is has they believe that he has a chance to be the guy, even for the now or for the future, then no pick is too early and no capital is too high to go and get that guy at the most important position in football. Even at 6, if they were to say, like, I'm not saying this is what I want to happen, but if they drafted that Jackson Dart guy at number 6, that for me would say, look, I know, look, I'm just saying, like, if they did do that, then I'm going to trust that, like, that's because they believe he eventually has that ceiling to be that guy. And if that's the route they go, then I'm going to try and trust that process. But that's the only, like, way for me that, like, I'd be open to say, like an out of left field pick per se, is if they're addressing the quarterback position. Outside of that, I don't want any more of these Damon Arnett, Alex Leatherwood, Tyree friggin' Wilson. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with it. Done.
You don't want no more Gruden grinders?
Well, at least Gruden found some guys that were solidified pieces of our core roster. You're looking at McDaniel's draft classes. Who the hell did he find? Jacorian Bennett being the best of the bunch in 2 seasons?
You got Glaze. No, that wasn't. That's Tusco.
No, he didn't.
That's Lesko's. My bad.
What? Parham?
Fuck no.
No.
That was his first pick.
O'Connell?
That was his first pick. We traded
Trey Tucker. Those are the next best
DA.
guys.
The best thing they ever did was get Devontae
nutters.
over here. Yeah.
Was it the best thing, Nate? Was it? Because he ain't here now.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the best thing they did. And how'd that work out? Yeah.
Yeah, they brought him in to satisfy Carr, and then what they do? They kick Carr to the curb.
But that solidified for me that Carr just wasn't going to work out. We gave him everything he needed, everything he wanted, and it just wasn't going to work out, even with his best friend from high school or college.
Right. But my point being is that, like, yes, I know Gruden fucked up with a lot of those early picks, but at least during his time, he found some core pieces that are still core pieces for this team. McDaniels did what? Who did he find? Exactly.
Exactly.
You're scratching your head trying to think. Exactly.
No, he found that new janitor, man, that does a hell of a job in the bathrooms, man. So.
Right. What Jerry say? Ruggs might not have been a popular pick, but he was doing damage. Unfortunately, he did the damage off the field. Right. His full stop for me. is he killed somebody with a bad decision.
Ruggs was the fucking shit, bro. I just wish he would have had better decision making. We lost our coach literally within days of Ruggs having that incident happen.
Yeah.
And I still feel like that was because there was no leadership in the building at that moment to keep him from going off the deep end.
Thank you. Exactly. That's what I've been saying
Hey,
for a long
everybody
time.
fucking makes mistakes. You know what I'm saying? We all make mistakes, and we can all get to a certain point. Mental health is definitely a huge problem in this world. And when something like that happens to somebody, yeah, I mean, I don't condone what he did, but I mean, shit, living the life I've lived, I've seen people do, you know, some real crazy things. You know what I mean? Especially under duress. And I mean, you got rid of your coach, the dude who believed in him, and I think that actually took a toll on him.
Yeah, but look at
a shot out of the park, bro. He was way better than fucking Jerry Jeudy.
Look at the history that how many players in the past 2-3 years had DUIs. That comes from the organization. Get these guys disciplined. I mean, you know, they're young. They come from like not a wealthy family. They get these millions of dollars. They got money, so they don't get fancy cars and top shelf drinks. That's fine. But you got no win and how to use it.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and just say something completely fucking off the wall. You guys probably gonna say it, but fucking you know, you're probably not gonna say it, but I think fucking Henry Ruggs should sue the fucking NFL for ruining his fucking career. To be honest with you. After firing his coach and fucking what he did with his life, I'm pretty sure there's some emotional distress there he could probably get paid for.
Critique. I'm you know, you're my dog, man, but I'm gonna have to respectfully highly disagree with that. Like Ruggs made a poor decision, which
he did
somebody hang on, critique. Like
the NFL
usually,
made a poor decision too by getting rid of a fucking coach for emails 10 years old too.
Hang on, critique. Just let me finish, right? Like I know people are young and they make mistakes when they're young, and usually I'm all for like people deserve a second chance to make amends, but this guy made a bad decision which cost somebody their life, and that is the ultimate price. You know what I'm saying? So any other talk about Ruggs is foregone because of what price somebody had to pay because of his mistakes. So as far as I'm concerned, like, look, whatever hook or crook, why he made that decision, at the end of the day, he is a grown man as well. You know what I mean? He could have and should have been in bed by then. He could have and should have done a lot of different things, got an Uber or whatever it is, but he didn't. And that bad decision, like I keep highlighting, cost somebody and their dog their life. And that is the bottom line for me with Ruggs. I salute you, Robert. I see you in the field.
He made a decision. He's not like an old man. He made his decision to do what he had to do. So he can't sue the NFL for his own decisions.
He had a good record prior to this incident.
Never had any issues before.
Never issues. He was a good kid. He followed the rules. He did what he had to do, and that's Vegas. That's the move to Vegas for you guys. That's our first ever Las Vegas #1 draft pick was Henry Ruggs, and he's sitting in prison right now. That's Vegas for you guys.
I think he's out. Is he getting out? Oh, he's getting out this year.
He's like a year or two away, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I could be. You could be right. They might have.
I think that might get out this year.
Release program or something. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
And with all due respect, Afakasi, for every action there is a reaction. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not condoning what he did, but I can put myself in his shoes. You see what I'm saying? I've played in a band in front of 2,500 people damn near every show. I never made all the right decisions. All right. I just didn't happen to do what he happened to do. I might have done what Josh Jacobs did and wrecked my car for fucking doing something that I shouldn't have been doing.
Marshawn Lynch.
I'm just saying. I'm thinking that if that whole fiasco doesn't happen with John Gruden, Ruggs doesn't make that mistake.
Yeah, no, you're right. I believe it.
You're right.
100%.
Could it be though? But like, I guess my bottom line is like, you know, if it was just a DUI, if it was just a whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of mistakes can be foregone as long as it's the person does whatever he can, and maybe even what he did to a point, like can be foregone if they, you know, do whatever they can to make amends for that. And I hope Henry Ruggs does eventually do that. But my bottom line is always going to be that, like, his poor decision cost somebody the ultimate price, and that's going to be my full stop with Henry Ruggs. You know, whatever he does from here, good luck to him. But You know, I don't.
His career's
Yeah,
over.
that's my full stop. He killed
I
somebody.
don't think he'll ever be back in the NFL.
No, I don't
Wait,
think so.
And he's
Oh,
definitely not
that's
going to be a Raider. Like anybody who says that we should rehire him, that is a slap in the face to the families that
No.
lost somebody. You know what I mean?
No.
That we're going to rehire the guy that costed somebody their family member their life. No, that's not going to happen.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Not going to happen.
He's got to ride the bus the rest of his life.
That
Yep.
he does.
Probably be safer for him too, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
get as drunk as you want on the bus.
You got anything else that you guys want to talk about or address?
Good.
Is there any other guys maybe you guys were looking at like later on in the draft, like outside of round 1 specifically, that are your guys that you've kind of earmarked that you want?
No, just get rotational pieces. Just get some more to the defense, get some offensive line. Definitely get 2 or 3 running backs. I don't care. Get a bruiser and get a speedster. Because that guy they got from Miami, he was more of a third down back to me. He didn't play every down. He did when he first started, but he started going to the third down back, bro. Keep him at that because he can catch and run fast. Get a bruiser, get a big guy, get a running back, and get a speed back. That way, get intermixed.
Thunder and lightning. I'm with you. Nutty Nate, what else we need?
I don't have any. I'm gonna go back to this. I don't have any expectations this year. I'm hoping the best from Pete Carroll. I'm trusting his decision making. He actually knows what he's doing. I'm glad Tom Brady's kind of at the helm back there instead of Mark Davis as far as personnel goes. He's missed and swung a couple times.
R.I.P. Tom Self.
Oh yep, R.I.P. But I don't have anybody I'm really looking at towards the end of the draft. But I'm just hoping.
What about positions besides the offensive line? Obviously, like
it's running
what other
back.
position you want to?
Running back, hands down. But we need another receiver. Our offense, like I said earlier, our only 2 offensive weapons on our team that are effective are a center, Henry Ruggs, and a tight end, in my opinion. So far. And I like Jacoby Myers. I think he's a baller, but I think he lacks some speed. But we definitely, and Trey Tucker, he's a double catcher. You know how he does it, the bobble.
Right.
He makes great catches, but he's not really strong hands. I think we need that receiver, and then we got to keep continuing to build the defense. Yeah, I think we need some DBs. Our D line looks okay, but we're missing some depth back there too. Because as far as once you get past Kuntz, it goes to Snowden, and then I think Tyree, yeah.
Right.
So
yeah, we could use more depth for sure. For sure. So you critique.
Whoever it is that we draft, please, by all means, take the Henry Ruggs situation and the Josh Jacobs situation and don't drink and drive, or else you'll probably be the focal point of our next podcast.
Right on, critique.
All right. That was good.
Any other, like, what were your positions you're highlighting for the draft?
Like I said, man, I'm drafting running back round 1.
After that, what positions you think need the most urgency?
Linebacker. Linebacker.
Yeah.
And
You're not sold on
Kool-Aid.
You're not sold on Bernie, Masterson, Amari Gaynor, or even Devin White. Tommy Eichenberg.
Devin White might do something, but I think we're going to need depth back there. I'm tired of going in with guys like Divine Diablo, who are literally reconstructed strong safeties, moved down to play linebacker. We've always been, that's kind of been our Achilles heel when it comes to getting linebackers. We hit it out of the park when it comes to free agents, but when we draft, like you said,
never draft linebackers.
Yeah, we hardly ever draft a
UDFA.
linebacker. We could have had Jalen Carter. I think that, if we would have did that, we probably wouldn't be needing linebacker as badly as we do, but I think linebacker is definitely a point of interest that we need to pick up.
Jalen Carter is a defensive tackle.
Is he a tackle?
Yeah, tackle. Yeah,
tackle.
Man, see, that's why I need to keep up with college ball and keep up with other teams. You know what I mean? But I don't keep up with other teams because I feel like it's kind of unloyal to sit there and watch other teams, bro. And I really do feel that way.
There is that
That's a good
linebacker
question.
Campbell. I forget what school he's from.
Give me a minute, chat. I'll be right back.
Georgia.
Yeah, he's a baller.
G. Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. He's Georgia or Alabama?
It's one of the red teams. A good
Yeah.
team. He's on a good team, and he's a baller.
Yeah, Georgia, Alabama. G. Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to shout out to all you guys who fucking actually keep up with college ball because there's more than fucking 150 teams to keep up with.
It's tough. It's tough.
Just more than that.
Jesus Christ, how the hell do you guys keep up with all of that when it comes to college football? There are so many fucking teams.
A few beers and a lot of TVs.
It's fun. It's kind of like playing fantasy football. Like you're building your own team and you're trying to see who the youngsters are coming up. And it's as far as that goes. I don't really watch every game, but I do pay attention to the names.
Yeah, Pig State, Alabama. Yeah, Alabama. D. Carter. Yeah.
Sup, Movell? Nice to see you in the feed, my friend. I want to go back to this question here because I like that by Raider Pete. White and Elandon Roberts, and who will prove to be the third linebacker? Okay, so the roster as it stands, like despite what we do in the draft, of these guys that we're debating about being the rest of the roster, like these second year, third year guys, Masterson, Bernie, Eichenberg, Gaynor. Who do you guys have the most confidence to take that next step and possibly push for more rotation or possibly even start? I'll start with you, Nate.
Amari Ferrari.
Amari Ferrari's your guy.
Hell yeah.
Is that it? Short and sweet.
Yeah, it's got to be. He even wore the green dot in preseason last year. I feel like he was ready to go last year, but AP held him back. And let's see what Pete Carroll can do.
Gotcha. Chris for Raiders.
I'm with that. I'm with Bernay.
Is it Bernie or Bernay?
You can call it what you want. It's spelled Bernay, so whatever.
Because Captain Jack was so heavily critical of like that we were calling Bernay because he watches Florida. He says it's Bernie.
Bernie, yeah. I ever see him the next step garden. Wasn't Eichenberg? What did he do? He played special team a couple of times. He didn't do shit.
Sorry, but did you say Bernie's going to be the next Sauce Gardner?
Who?
Is that what you just said?
No, I said the third one would be Bernie for me. The Eichenberg and Madison, those guys, they didn't do shit. They barely play special teams. So nah, pass.
Critique, truth and intensity.
Yeah, I'm none of these guys are gonna fucking do it. To be honest with you, we need to draft one.
Pick one.
If out of all of them, be Amari Bernie. I don't have any faith in Masterson because it's not that it's my buddy's favorite linebacker over here.
Take it.
But it's just that yes. If he was going to do something, Patrick Graham would have already turned him into something by now. He's nothing but depth at this moment, but he reminds me of a Miles Burris. He's decent depth. But Amari Bernie, really, it's on him, man, because we drafted him pretty high, didn't we? Was he like 5th round, 4th round?
Fifth,
like one of the last linebackers we drafted. He needs to step up his game.
Bernie was in the 6th round.
The next one up in line.
Yeah, 6th
was
round.
6th? Oh, okay, yeah. Whatever. 6th, 5th. Yep. Go ahead.
So I mean, he was drafted. Shit.
Yep.
2 seasons of concessions for development. Like I keep saying, you get 2. Third year, you either show that you got it or you don't. And this is his time to show that he can live up to the bare minimum. And that is be a decent rotation guy. That's what I want from him. That's the bare minimum. Otherwise, you if you're not going to give that by year 3, you can go.
Well, no, one thing, he's a better tackle than Diablo was. I tell you that one. He hit some motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
All right, I'm going to have a take on that question. And it's only because he was my guy. Luke Masterson, please live up to the high praise that I gave you quite a few seasons ago. I mean, look, the first preseason that he came on board with us, he was flying all over the field. He made more plays than Amari Gaynor. You know what I'm saying? Like he was getting interceptions, he was causing sacks, he was very disruptive in the backfield. He did some things in spots his rookie season. Come year 2, when we tried to have him start in place of like whoever was injured, and somebody better answer their phone real quick or hang up. Yeah, look, Masterson, please show that you belong and live up to the praise that I gave you in the last few seasons. Otherwise, he's another guy. If you can't live up to that expectation, then you got to bounce on me.
But see, at least you're nice about it.
I'm trying to be nice.
I was totally backing the guy up and he was completely fucking shit in the bed. I'd be completely shitting on him.
Right.
I would.
Yeah,
I would.
because it comes to
You
Samir
took
White.
my kindness for weakness. I believed in you and you made me look like a fool, you motherfucker.
Yeah, because Samir White, you're not that nice, man. I see how that goes. Samir White, you're never that nice.
Well, Zamir White had higher expectation, and that's why I get critical of it, is that, like, especially like the people that came out and were shitting on Josh Jacobs, but were throwing high praise for Zamir was going to do all this and all that. You know who I'm talking about, critique. And then lo and behold, he is the
I know exactly who you're talking about.
My guy.
Because
critique.
remember, I know it all. I've said it all. I'm the all-knowing Raider Domus. You already know who I am. Dustin.
Yeah, fuck that guy. But yeah, to my point, like, sorry, I got to situate something. Yeah,
I've been parting out my F-150 for meth money.
Hello to you, James. Good to see you in the feed.
Hey, James.
But that's why I get so critical of Zamir. It's just, and also like to that point of like I keep making that every season since I've been a Raider fan, we have had somebody in our running back room that was not just like someone we could believe in, but was at least quite good, or if not like great. You know what I'm saying? And last season was a very, very big disappointment, being not just dead last in the league, but also when I keep highlighting and I keep asking people to name me one running back room that was worse than last year's one in our history. And I'm asking like OGs like you, Chris, and like you, Greater Critique, who's been here a lot longer than me and you, Nate, and even you, Nate, because you've been here longer than me. Like, name me one running back room that was worse than last season. And you guys can't give me an answer because there is no answer. Please.
Shit, to be honest with you, these last 40 years have been so terrible. I've been smoking weed to try to forget the last 40 years of Raiders football.
I don't smoke weed, but I've been doing a lot of drinking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right there with you. We can party together.
The fucking problem was that AP saw Zamir White help him get the job, and they don't count him get the job. So, it says Zamir White is our future running back. And he wouldn't change it. He said, wait a minute, he gets 1.9 yards a carry in one game. All right, take the motherfucker out. Put somebody else in. Yep. Because it's just Zamir McCormick, get the other guys sitting back. I don't know about damn lobby. I don't know about that. But he just kept running him. Gets it. First down, 1 yard. Second down, getting knocked back 2 yards. Run game. Third down, a draw play. What the? It was just stupid. Stupid.
It was too comfortable.
Like Evan Downing for our offensive coordinator all over again.
Right. You guys already.
Let's say one point. When you tell a player in the preseason or even beginning of next year, the new season start, you're our number one quarterback, like you said, get in his head, get confident. Oh, I'm starting right away. No, compete for that fucking job. That's what Pete Carroll having to do. Like we might have got you high in the draft, but this guy's better. He got him low, so you're gonna stand on the bench. He's gonna play. That's what he's gonna do. Not just give you the title.
Yep.
Of those guys that are still on our roster that are lingering or hanging by a thread from last year's running back room, is there anybody there that you think, or who do you feel like has a chance to crack this roster and maybe make a semi-impact? I'm looking at Zamir, I'm looking at Sincere, and I'm looking at Dylan Lobby. You think
I told you, okay, let me say this right quick because I got to go in a few minutes. Like I told you, I think he was on the show with me, AR. I told you what he do. Then you get all run backs in one room. Okay. Sit there, somebody throw a stink bomb in that motherfucker. Let him run out the door, then light door behind him say, bye. Get the fuck out of here. None of them.
Hit him with the fucking D battery on the way out.
Critique, salute to you, Jason and McAllister. I want to see what he can do at special teams, but we will see. He's going to have to compete again in preseason. But let's see you, Critique.
Okay.
Get my face
go on.
Camera, God damn it. There you go.
Sorry, I'll get Nate wants to talk about McAllister.
No, I was going to say McAllister. He was listed as a receiver. He had a running back number, but he was a receiver.
A receiver, yeah.
A special teams guy that's going to need to show that he belongs on the roster again. But I digress. Critique. We'll see you.
Hey, we need to give Jason Downs a contract. Just put him in there because he's got to do better than Dylan Parham. So, we do need to be able to block for the running backs to be able to work out. I think Sincere McCormick, if any of them has the opportunity to get back in here and be a part of this running back room, Amir Abdullah maybe, but Zamir White, now he's got to go.
Is Amir Abdullah even on our roster anymore? I don't think Amir Abdullah is even on our roster.
He's still a free agent. He hasn't signed anywhere yet.
No. So
he's like Madison, and I think we lost Abdullah too.
Madison went to the Dolphins. We traded Madison for
Mostert now. So Mostert's going to be our third down back.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'd say is a third down back more than anything else.
Okay, I got you, Benta. I got you. But what say you? Sincere, Zamir, and Dylan Lobby. Of those three guys, who do you think? What's your gut telling you? Like, is any of those guys making our roster?
McCormick out of those three, if any.
Gotcha. Nutty one.
Yeah, no, I'm straight. Yeah, we got to upgrade the running back room totally. McAllister, or what's his name? McCormick. This is his fourth year. He barely cracked the roster last year. It's because of how bad the room was, and he still couldn't finish the season. He showed me who he is. We got to move on. We got to get somebody younger, somebody who's got good legs under them, and not so many injuries, I guess. Yeah, none of them.
None of them.
I'm not even impressed with Mostert. So yeah.
All right, my take on the situation. Look, Sincere McCormick at least showed me, and this is coming from a guy who's heavily critical of the guy because in 3 preseasons didn't show me squat, been hanging around on the practice squad, and even with all our running back woes from last season, we're still not seeing game time until injury. But when he did get his opportunity, he showed he can play. However, he was out injured again. And like he's been lingering on our squad for 3 years, and 2.5 years you're not playing, and then when you play, you get 4 or 5 game stretch where you did well, but he's out injured again. But I want to see him at least get a shot in preseason. He's going to get his shot, but if he doesn't make it, if he doesn't ball out in preseason and earn that maybe 3rd running back spot or 4th, then I'm not giving him any more practice squad concessions. Like, you can just go ahead and go. 3 seasons on the practice squad is enough for me. You're not getting any more. You know what I'm saying? Dylan Lobby, we drafted him last season there was quite a few people out there hyping him out that he's going to be this and that, like Christian McCaffrey 2.0. But, I do want to see him, at least, again, do the bare minimum, be a special teams guy, make it through as a returner, or bring something to the table. You got to bring the bare minimum. If not, then he can go to either the practice squad or he can get up out of here too. So yeah, those 2 guys I have not too much confidence in, but I want to see what they can do in preseason. They're 2 guys that need big preseasons if they're going to retain their spots on our roster. You know what I'm saying? Zamir White, I have no faith in. So as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing more to be said. 2.8 yards per carry, more fumbles and touchdowns. He can go. I don't give a shit. But that's just my take on the running back situation.
Art White had facts, bro. O-line decides our running game. Still comes down to the meat and potatoes.
That's true.
Factuals.
That's true.
Right.
I told you, AR, I told you, stink bomb.
Right. And I do. Go ahead.
You get rid of all of them. Like I said, man, you make a point. McCormick been on the practice squad for 3-4 years. He finally gets opportunity. What happens? He runs good for one a game and a half and gets hurt and he fumbles. So wait, this is your opportunity to shine, and then you can't predict injuries. That's the thing. But this is your time to shine.
You've already sat 2.5 seasons. You know what I'm saying? But but on the flip side of that, when we're talking about the offensive line, but the time that so this comment here by Art, salute to you. The offensive line decides the running game, and to that point, they may have contributed to the struggles of the other guys Madison and Zamir, but at the same time, Amir Abdullah found a way to get it done. Mm-hmm. Sincere McCormick, the few games he was in, a guy I was very low on, found a way to get it done. Just saying.
Yeah, they weren't running into the back of their blockers.
That's true.
Right.
And like I said, who was starting center when they were running the ball?
JPJ.
There you go. There's your answer. Offensive line. JPJ.
No, it wasn't Andre James. It was JPJ.
It was
Yeah,
JPJ.
JPJ starting, yeah.
No. Yeah. By then it was JPJ. Critique.
Dude, this shit was a fucking revolving door on the offensive line all year last year.
Yeah.
Just like we literally fucking played by committee when it came to the offensive line. We did the same thing what we did with the running back room, and we expected a different result.
Colton Miller looked like trash till about week 10. He looked bad.
Why AP got fired.
He looked
Well,
bad.
remember he had no training camp because he had that surgery thing. So he had no training camp, no OTAs, and all that stuff.
2 surgeries. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 surgeries. So yeah, it took him a while to get in his football shape.
Yep.
Right. Well, like, I guess since we're talking about Colton Miller, like, and I've highlighted, like, I'm right there with you guys. Like, he did have a down year up until he started playing better towards the end of the season. But, like, it could be a continued trend, being that he's been in the league for a while and he has been good. He has lived up to that first round expectation and he's been a good Raider. But, you know, Father Time catches up with us all. He's been in the league 2018. So 1, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So this will be his 8th year. So, you know, it may continue to go downhill for Colton Miller. I'm happy with what he's been giving us so far, but at the same time, we need to start finding a contingency plan for left tackle. You know what I'm saying? We need to bring a young guy in the door that we can develop to take over that role. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I'm with you guys in trying to find that in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's early, whether it's middle. Go ahead.
It wasn't just last year though. Colton Miller's been trending down for a couple of years now.
Yeah, he has been.
It's time we have that replacement of that insurance policy behind him, because
last year he fell off a cliff without a parachute.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, he literally just blew right the fuck up.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I mean?
he had an excuse, but excuses. If he knew he couldn't play well, then put somebody else in that motherfucking spot.
He didn't look
But
like
we don't
he
have
could move
anybody else.
last year. He couldn't keep up with any of the defensive
Oh,
ends.
he was hurt too.
Mumford did not play well at left tackle when he was tasked to do that, like in preseason.
He played better left tackle than he did right tackle. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It was pretty woeful at left tackle. Like right
That's
tackle,
how he played better at left tackle than right tackle.
I think I would disagree with that, being that, like, in those early games where Mumford was the right tackle until Glaze took over, he had maybe 1 or 2 games where he did actually reasonably well, and then he had a couple of games where he was the other side of the coin pretty bad. And fortunately for us, Glaze took over and has made that role his own until proven otherwise, right?
Well, the fact that matters, like you said, we got.
I would take that. I would take that body of work at right tackle. Then what I've seen from Mumford at left tackle has been downright pretty bad. So for me, like, he's at least a decent guy who can come in a pinch if we need to. Do I want him starting until proven otherwise? Not really. He's a 7th round guy, so getting even a rotational guy who can start in a pinch is a win for me. That's okay. You know, we need to find a better contingency plan at left tackle.
What about that big motherfucker we had drafted a couple years ago? That 6'8", 500-pound tackle.
Wagner, I think.
He's a UDFA. He's a UDFA. Hasn't done nada.
He didn't make the team last year. Yeah.
UDFA, done nada. I'm not gonna harp on or cry spilled milk about UDFAs.
And that goes to my point. That goes to my point that we're getting away. The league in general is getting away from those bigger ogre tackles. Yeah, they're going to the 6'3", 6'4" tackles now. They might be shorter arms, but they make up for all that with their footwork and their speed. So that's where we're going.
Wagner's a whatever with me, because, like I said, he's a UDFA. I don't expect anything from UDFAs. If they even find a spot on the roster and actually do some things, that's a win for me.
That's one what happened to him, because I didn't see him since they got him. It was a big hype, like, yeah, he's a big boy, but after that, like, what happened?
Right, but like I said, a UDFA, it's like, so what? If he didn't do anything, so what? If he does something, even just a rotational guy, that's a win.
Yeah, no big loss.
But we need a better contingency plan. I'm going to stand on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, at left tackle, who we got to come in a pinch? Like, we brought in Andres Pete, who is woeful. I mean, you want to talk about Colton Miller being bad? Andres Pete, that was some of the most woeful play I'd seen at left tackle for the Raiders for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like Cody Wire and him, I'm glad those two cats are gone. I don't want to go that route again. And it seems like we have gone that route with that. What's his name? Kappa? You know what I'm saying?
Kappa.
Like, oh God, like he gives me
Alex
Cody
Kappa.
Whitehair vibes. Like,
No, Kappa was a favorite for Brady because he won Super Bowl with him. So I was just like, hey, come in and play for us, give you $11 million. You know, it's a favorite.
until proven otherwise, I'm not sold on that.
But you never know because some players need to change the scenery. He probably didn't do well. He did good at Tampa Bay.
Right.
Mr. Daddy stunk the bed up.
Chris,
So
I feel like his legs don't work no more. Some of the tape I watched, his legs don't move. His footwork, he's just kind of a statue, like he's got concrete in his cleats or something. Kappa's. I think he's done. He's cooked. He reminds me a lot of Andres Pete, actually.
Exactly. I mean, Andres. Like you could say that if you're saying that about Kappa, Andres Pete once upon a time was quite a competent, if not quite a good left tackle for the Saints, right?
Great.
And but by the time he comes over to us, he's a spent force. He's not even a competent rotational guy. You know what I'm saying? Cody Whitehair, same applies. Once upon a time was a decent starter for the Bears. You know what I mean? Rotational guy comes over to us, he's got nothing left in the tank. And that's the kind of vibe I'm getting from Kappa. Yeah, until he proves me otherwise.
It was just a favor. Like, you know, we'll come over here. We'll give you a little contract. Plus, he's a veteran. He can help. If they draft somebody, he gets a veteran. He can help out.
Yeah. Well, as it stands, I'm putting more money on Meredith to outperform him. If we're not going to go the interior, if we're not going to go interior via the draft, but I believe we can, and I believe we will. In that, and I've highlighted this a few times that. Usually we do quite well in finding interior guys between round 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? Even round 2. So that's a position. If that's where we target to try and improve the offensive line, even right from the rip, then we might be able to find a guy in that region that can be like a Gabe Jackson kind of guy, or even like, you know, I know it's tackle, but DJ Glaze right from the rip. Dylan Parham, like I know you say what you will about like him as a whole, but like he's at least been at times a competent interior guy, even from the jump. So, you know, I'd be okay with trying to find a guy of that caliber or even better in rounds 3, 4, 5 to try and solidify that spot.
Well, you know they're gonna go offense because they pick a lot of defense on the free agency market, so they're gonna definitely draft offensive guys. You know,
well, we already highlighted that on the
whole line and stuff later around. So we'll see what happens.
Well, everywhere on the offense bar the tight end, and even tight end, you could look that they could use some depth behind Brock Bowers. And if we do move on from Michael Mayer, every single spot on the offense is like we need to get better, especially the wide receiver. Like, I mean, it's looking pretty woeful outside of Jacoby Meyer. You know what I'm saying? Like Trey Tucker's a spot guy for me, but then after that, who we got? And like there was Rumorville was going crazy about Hunter Renfrow coming back, and for me, it's like, well, Hunter Renfrow, even at 50%, is better than all these cats that we have in the door, maybe including Trey Tucker, that's not named Jacoby Myers. And to me, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Outside of Jacoby Myers, we have a bunch of number 3s.
Yep.
Number 4s, number 5s, or don't even belong on an NFL roster.
Right. Like, what the hell was that other cat's name? The one who was complaining online last year, the white dude. About fucking when we won. Bachman. Alex Bachman. There you go. Another 6th round wide receiver, a 6th fucking rotational pick.
I take Renfrow over him for sure. Yeah, well, I'll exchange them out.
all these depth guys that we have are UDFAs. They weren't even draft capitals.
Right. I think the big pickup we got was Phillips. He used to be in Chip Kelly's offense at UCLA. He's a slot dude. I think he came from the Colts, or so he came from somewhere. But exactly. Yeah.
To my point, like our wide receiver depth is almost as woeful as the running back depth we have at the moment. So it once again, everywhere on the offense needs to be addressed via the draft. There's not one position that we couldn't use more bodies in the door. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's
but anyways, look,
at the beginning of last season, wide receiver was our biggest asset. It sure fucking was, wasn't it? Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker. We had the other guy from Kansas City who didn't even make the team, McAllister or whatever his name was.
Are you talking about Denarius Robinson? What is
Denarius Robinson? There you go. That guy, Robinson. Yeah, he was supposed to make the team, didn't even make the team. Like, we were stacked at wide receiver last year, and then we come up to this year and we have one.
Right.
Hey,
Trey
Keaton,
Tucker, a spot guy.
Keaton's a good one too. I forgot about him from Tennessee last year.
Is he though?
There's potential there. I like the way he plays. If we could just get him the ball and hopefully game plan for him.
He showed one quarter of preseason play. What else did he do?
Yeah, he's got some work to do. But I'm telling you, his college tape was he's got strong hands. He can get some separation. I like Keaton. Pig's pig.
But you gotta talk about that though. Like Keaton, who was throwing the fucking ball?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Who was throwing hospital balls to everybody?
That's what
Trash
I'm saying.
number
Okay.
one or trash number
Your
two.
receiver's only as good as your quarterback play.
Yeah.
And who's making the calls? That good guy, Getsy. Yeah. So gotta give him a chance. It's only his second year. Give him a chance. If he shines. If he don't,
we'll see.
But at the same time, still, it's like I said, all these other guys we have in the door, not Jacoby Myers, and Trey Tucker, they're all UDFA guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, once again, I was talking about the UDFA being that, like, I don't expect anything from these guys, and if they can even do something, cool. But the fact that we're kind of scratching our head, like trying to remember their name or think of their names, again, that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's a position I feel like we can get better. It needs to be better, despite whatever you might say about the quarterback room. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to piggyback off of that. They also need somebody throwing him the ball that's not too busy trying to eat his boogers instead of fucking
right.
Exactly.
And whatever side of the coin you are with Gino, like, he's at least not that. The very flaw with Gino, and I've said it a few times, like, whether you think he's overpaid or whether you believe it's a good contract or how much faith you have in Gino, at the very bare minimum, he is better than all those other guys we have brought in the door since Derek Carr. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have more faith in him than a Jimmy Garoppolo, than a Brian friggin' Hoyer, than a Gardner Minshew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Brian Hoyer was on our team? What? Brian Hoyer?
Yeah.
2023.
What did he do?
He played in the Bears game when we lost to the Division II quarterback in Chicago.
I know. I was just saying.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to throw that out there too.
Like, what did he do?
What do you think about this comment here about Trey Tucker? I can. This is Nab Man. I can see Trey Tucker having a bit of a breakout at slot under Chip with Gino throwing it. What say you about it?
God, I hope so.
He got to learn some more route running. He runs, but he's not really a good. He runs routes, but he's not a good route runner. At the slots, you got to run some really hell of a routes. So if he can pick that up, it'd be great.
I don't think he's going to be great, but I think Trey Tucker's biggest problem, like, I don't want to see him starting on the outside like he did last season. I mean, granted, he's only been in the league for 2 years, but his biggest problem is that he's very poor in the contest. Like, whenever there was a contested catch, like, he was losing it each and every time. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it wasn't even close.
It wasn't a review. Every catch was a review.
That goes back to ball placement.
Jeffrey?
And that's on the quarterback. If he's throwing up 50-50 balls to Trey Tucker, you're doing something wrong. You gotta overthrow him almost.
Right. But at the same time, if it's a 50-50 ball, it's a 50-50, right? So you need to be winning at least some of these contests. He won none of them.
Yeah.
He won none of them. He lost just about every single one. And that's what I'm saying is his biggest weakness. And that I feel like he needs to be better if he's going to be more than just a spot guy, is that he needs to win some of those contested catches, because he lost every single one of them. And some of them were even going for picks. Yeah. That's a problem.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey, and if you want the feed.
He could be a good speed decoy.
Gino will be better than any quarterback that was in this room last year. I can guarantee that.
For the past 3
I'll
years.
fucking walk the plank if I'm wrong.
Not last year, the past 3 years.
Fucking plank if I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. Past 3 years, you add that on in there. Shit, we had a fucked up quarterback room for the past 3 years.
Jimmy fucking Jesus Christ.
I'm hoping that, like, and it's hope for me that Gino Smith, like, I've already highlighted the flaw with Gino, but better, like my high expectation, like if he can be that veteran quarterback that we keep trying to swing for, we keep trying to find the next Rich Gannon, and we just haven't found him ever since Rich Gannon has been out the door. You look at, I don't need to highlight the names. We all know our history since Rich Gannon. It's been woeful. You know what I'm saying? And I want better than all these guys. You know what I'm saying? Can Gino give us that? We will see. Go ahead, Nate.
Gino Smith is a tough SOB too. So I think we've been missing that at quarterback. Garoppolo, fucking pussy. Minshew, fucking bigger pussy. AOC, softest baby shit. It's I think Gino brings some toughness to that QB room we've been missing since Gannon. I'm even saying since before. Yeah, I'm saying he's got more toughness than Carr.
So go back to Gino Smith. He played Seattle last year. They had a 20th ranked offensive line. Our offensive line was just a tad bit better than that, maybe 27. But he still threw for 4,000 yards. All those his INTs were 15. But I tell you what, I'll take a quarterback that throw more touchdowns than INTs. Our last quarterback, what? 9? Well, it counted for 11 turnovers, 9 interceptions. And only
that comment there by Jay.
You know, I'd rather take that over anything.
Right. And that's where, I highlighted his weakness, but that's where he's strong, is running downfield, or when he does get open, he does make catches, and he does make some plays. I was just saying like what his weakness is, but that definitely is one of his strengths. I can
the speed. Yeah, speed.
Yeah, speed kills.
Mm-hmm.
All right, gang. Anything else you guys want to touch up on? Well, otherwise, I mean, we've shot for 2 hours. I want to keep you guys if you need. You guys got more to do per se?
Yeah, no.
I got something to do later on about a little bit, but it's been fun. I appreciate you inviting me in. It's nice meeting you, Critique. Finally talking to you. I always see you that Tecmo Bowl MVP. So
Hey, I appreciate it, man. It's good to talk to you two guys. It really is. It's nice to actually get on here and actually talk football. I don't know about any of y'all's YouTube timeline, but my shit's overflooded with politics. I try to stay off YouTube because of that shit. So it's just, this shit bothers me, bro. Fucking none of these fucking idiots can get along. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what the fuck it's like to be us anyway. You know what I mean? 3/4 of them motherfuckers ain't Raiders. They definitely don't know what it is to fucking actually have the adversity to keep working through what we've been working through year after year after year, seeing the same shit go on over and over and over again, expecting a different result. I'm seeing
that's called insanity.
We're not
we're seeing different
time I've seen your feet, my friend.
I think we will.
So I'm not going to shit on us totally, because I am seeing differences this year. I see us being smart. That's fucking.
I agree with that.
That's a plus, bro.
That's in the right direction.
Some better decisions. Yep.
Sal, appreciate you. The Tecmo Super Bowl champ. Critique. Right.
I'll see y'all
until proven otherwise, and that's up to me.
This Sunday, baby. Vegemite Bowl. Let's do it again.
It's on Vegemite.
You playing this weekend?
Yeah, I can play this weekend. I'll be here. I'll be here on Sunday.
So I'm like Donkey Kong. Let's get it.
You?
I still have Vegemite. He's still got a full bottle because you've been kicking my ass, right?
I'm gonna watch AR gives me binge.
Hey, it's better than what fucking Captain Jack wanted us to eat. What was that shit that
God, no, I'm not doing that for a bet. Hell no.
It was like some street fish out of Louisiana, bro. I mean, it was some of the nastiest. Like, just explain.
No, it was from the Philippines. It's like some it's like a little bird embryo. Like
bird embryo, like that's what.
Yeah.
Oh
no, hell no.
You're crazy, bro. Hell no.
I'm good.
Duck speaking. Yeah.
Like Vegemite is gross, but at least like it's no. I'm not doing that for a bet. Hell no.
You guys ever done canned sardines?
Canned sardines. Yeah. I used to live off that shit.
I could probably eat those.
Canned sardines doesn't hold a candle to Vegemite. Trust me.
Okay, yeah. See, that's where I draw the fucking line. So like,
hey, no, I would eat a whole can of sardines before I ever wanted to take a spoonful of Vegemite.
See, yeah, I'm good.
I'll eat a whole can of fucking sardines, no problem.
Dog, I used to live off canned sardines when I used to do kickboxing when I was losing.
Yeah,
when I had to cut weight and shit.
I know a lot of people
that sardines is at least like it's feasible. It's not like Vegemite. If you like the way we eat it isn't the way you're supposed to eat it. You're actually only supposed to put a little bit, but we make it fun as as a bit of penance to pay when you lose a little Tecmo Super Bowl bets. You have to down a whole spoonful and sing a song of the winner's choosing, right? And last time I had to sing what, Spice Girls.
I'm about to say it. Even my voice as an angel motherfucker was completely fucked up by the damn Vegemite. I couldn't carry a tune. I was too busy gagging. Like it was nasty.
You should have seen my boy Critique. This was him. He was like, whoa, whoa. It was the best. Hopefully I can make it happen again, right?
Looks like Nutella tastes like bong water.
Bong water, peanut butter.
Bong water, peanut butter.
Jeez.
Oh, God, my stomach's turning just thinking about it.
Sheesh.
I'm never losing again, dude.
You're gonna get got. So come Sunday, stay tuned. We're gonna have, I think it's official, Tecmo Super Bowl 5 between me and Raider Critique. What time are we doing it? 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Central Standard Time Sunday.
All right, so 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern, and that would make it 7 a.m. Pacific. All right, I'll put up the link later, but I'm going to go to you, Nate, because you're sharing the Just Win Baby. Can you share with us what you got in the pipeline?
Yeah, Just Win Baby Tonight podcast. We back up. Hope to see y'all there. We're just talking some more Raider shit. My dog, Banther, Pizzle. We'll have some more guests in the house. Hopefully, Ern shows up. Yep. For
sure. And I appreciate you giving your takes and your time. So if somebody in the chat can share out Raider Ben's channel, are they streaming on yours as well, Nate?
No, I don't really stream too much. But y'all find me. I'll be dipping around.
Right. Yep. So just if you can't, if someone could share Raider Ben's link, he's got his Just Win Baby podcast with the boys, Nutty Nate, Pizzle, as well as hopefully Ern and whoever else might be on the podcast. That's going to be tonight.
Black should be there too. He should be there
too.
Yep.
Right. So that's what time tonight?
7:30 tonight. It could be 8:30. We've been pushing it back a little bit.
Right. So 8:30 Pacific. That would make it 10:30 Central and 11:30 Eastern, if my calculations are correct.
Yep.
Wow, I got it right. We'll go to you next, Christopher Raiders. Talk to the people. What we got going
on? Nothing real. I think me and Jeff going to do another pull up tonight. I think around 6 p.m. Pacific time, where we talk a little bit. Then have people come in. That's around 6. And then Saturday night we have a show Saturday night called Final Last Call with me and Jeff, where we talk about the history of the Raiders. This week we're doing linebackers and defensive line. So those are two things coming up right now.
And your channel is Chris 4 Raiders, or one word?
Yep, Chris 4 Raiders. 4. Yep.
Number 4. Gotcha. Punch that into YouTube. You'll find him. So your next show is what time? Sorry?
I think tonight is 6 o'clock. It'll be the pull-up show. It's a show that Turkey's to run, but he's out, doing things with his daughter.
Okay, so if you want more Raider content, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's Pacific, right?
Yeah, 6 p.m. Pacific time.
So 6 p.m. Pacific, you got your boy Chris 4 Raiders, and then what is it, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., Nate, for Just Win Baby?
8:30-ish, yeah. We'll be
8:30, Just Win Baby. So go to Chris first, and then your boy Nate, Banther, and the boys for JWB. And then last and most definitely not least, at least until Sunday when I put his ass to sleep in Tecmo Super Bowl, I'm calling it now, Raider Critique. Talk to the people.
Well, you guys can check us out here this Sunday when Afakasi gets sadly humiliated once again. But I will also be going live during the draft Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from Tank's Bar and Pub in Killeen, Texas, with the Fort Hood, the Black Hole chapter. I'll be there with my brother Scream, and we'll be reacting to the draft. So you guys go ahead and tune into that if you'd like. And we'll be going all 3 days, and we're doing it from the bar. So you're probably going to see your boy Critique get pretty fucked up where I have to call an Uber and have somebody take me home. So there you go.
Appreciate your critique. Kind of sad that you're not going to be with us, but now I can understand why, because you're going to be doing your live with you from the bar, right? They
popped that up on me. They were like, "Bro, we need you to show up and do the podcast from the."
Go do your thing, man. Go do your thing.
So I'm going to go do that.
I'm happy for your critique,
especially since I can't shake a fucking stick and Ern to get the fuck on camera. So I'm just going to go do that. And then right now, Ern is very happy with everything that's going on with the Raiders, by the way. I'll just go ahead and relay that all to you right now, unlike me, who's still kind of skeptical. So it's going to make for great content. He's just got to get back on camera to where we can go ahead and disagree.
So, stay tuned for when they get back on camera. It's fireworks. You know, you got the California rain cloud and the Texas tornado. For sure. Truth with intensity.
Go ahead. And
Sorry.
with me, it's kind of like babysitting a tornado, bro. It's just too hard to do.
For sure. Critique, always appreciate you, man. As for me, like, thank you everybody who's joining in the chat feed. I'm not bueno. I appreciate the super chat. Raiders. Appreciate you, brother. And everybody else, as well as you, Chris for Raiders, who joined my membership program. Thank you very much. That's always the best way to support the channel. But I just appreciate everybody who came, showed their face, was active in the chat feed. I see you all. Much love. My next live is with your boy Critique. Like we highlighted, we're going to have another Tecmo Super Bowl challenge. This week is going to be me and Critique. But hopefully, shout out to my guys, Las Vegas Raider 10, as well as Raider Jeff, who's entered the Tecmo Bowl scene with us on the Fightcade. So I'm hoping those two get a bit more game time, can practice up, and hopefully challenge myself as well as you, Critique, in time and give us
I can't wait, dude.
more of a run for our money.
Marcus. I can't wait to play him.
Right. They're quite good right from the jump. I mean, they did better than me my first time around. Remember that, Critique? You put me to the sword my first game. So you know, it'll come with time. But anyways, that's me for it's going to be Sunday morning at our usual time slot. So 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. So grab your breakfast and your popcorn because it's going to be fireworks between me and your boy Critique. And I'm coming for that title, Critique. You best believe it. I ain't losing again. I'm calling it now.
I got your back. AR, I got your back.
I've only got
I'll be
one
rooting
line
for you.
You're going to be saying this once again, bro. Oh,
USA. USA. USA.
So is that what you're going to get me singing?
And then you throw up in the trash can.
Well, hopefully you're not speaking into existence and I can actually do some things. But anyways, I'm Afakasi Raider. Got your boy, the nutty one. Nutty Raider Nate, as well as the Raider Critique, Truth with Intensity, and your boy Chris for Raiders. Gang, that's it for now. Raider Nation for life. Win, lose, or tie. You know what time it is. It's Raider Nation till we what, gang?
Motherfucking
die.
We motherfucking die. From the womb to the tomb till the casket falls off. All right, peace, gang. Catch you on the flip side for sure.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.